Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The King of Rock move to be Muhammad and John. The one that come to bring the ruckus. Suckers, duckers, and dodge. The King of Rock what? To be my hobby and job. The one that come to bring the ruckus. Suckers, duckers, and dodge. A little bit of aggression for y'all on that one right there.
I loved
y'all
it.
Know about that aggression.
And you can't see me. Your time is up. My time is
now.
Because you can't see me, folks, because my camera is disabled.
Uh-oh.
Not sure what's going on there. I promise I'm here with Sarge. But before I forget, we got to tell the streets.
We back up.
We back up. And better than ever. And better than ever.
Better than ever, baby.
All right. It's one of our favorite months of the year. This is such a great time of year. We got Black History Month. Next month is Women's History Month. And then we go right into WrestleMania.
The
It's
women get a whole month?
a whole month.
Women get a
Wow.
whole month. That's
A
what's
whole
up.
month. But that's because we get to line up female guests to come in here and talk about their wrestling career. It's
Okay.
awesome because, we have, people like producers like Amanda and Gessler, and we have like Jexy Black, the manager, just talking about their wrestling experience. And then I guess I can announce it if we're announcing it on the 26th. We got Paris McQueen going to be right here live in the studio to talk about how she is the most entertaining character in all of independent wrestling as a female.
She might be the second best champion at BOTB behind
you?
Behind me.
Well, let me know how that goes because I quit. But
You say he quit.
let me know how that goes. But
did he really retire or no?
But me, look. I mean, we can cut a promo on this. Let's cut a promo on it.
Cut a promo
on it.
Talk about
The Royal Rumble this year was the opposite of everything that's wrong in pro wrestling, and that's because and it shows because while it was technically good, right?
Mhm.
Like I enjoyed it mechanically.
Yeah.
The producing of the show was very good. Was that not the most
weird,
ineffective? It wasn't boring, but it
No.
was. But like, I was sitting back and thinking about after we watched the watch along. I watched it again, and I'm like, this is good. I don't care though.
Yeah.
I told you Triple H had nothing.
Try
I
up the
told
sleeve.
you. I told you he had nothing.
The Women's Rumble was excellent, but it was way too long.
Yeah.
They fudged the entry times there. Sometimes, and that was kind of funny. We talked about it on the air. Like
Some of them seem short though.
Yeah,
it did. Some of them seemed like it was about like a 90-second interval.
Some
and then
seem
some were like
30
a minute and a
seconds, and
half.
then somewhere it was very odd to me.
Yeah.
but that's probably why they didn't announce what the intervals were.
Yeah.
Because before the Rumble, when they put the graphic up there, it was like, a new entrant enters the ring, and wait, what?
They used to do that though back in the day. The Saturday Night's Main Event, Hart Foundation, Rougeau Brothers was the first time I ever figured it out. They said they went to a 20-minute draw,
but it wasn't.
The match was, I think,
it was like 11 minutes.
No, it was like 19, but
Yeah.
it was not 20 minutes.
1945.
So yeah, it wasn't even that close.
Well, 15 seconds you can fudge in a wrestling.
It wasn't
match
that. It
little
was a
bit.
minute, but nobody's timing it.
You're correct.
They were actually watching the show back then.
I was watching it. The Saudis didn't count down.
They really didn't. Well, they did count down, but they counted in their language.
Okay, I'll have to go back and watch that.
Most of the people I heard were trying to find a bottle of water. Did you hear about that debacle?
No, what happened?
They didn't have any water in the building.
Really?
People were like having to go across the street. That's why the seats kept appearing and reappearing, like people in them.
They would have to go across the street to get concessions.
They could water. They had no bottled water in the building. They sold out like way earlier in the day, so they had to leave and go get. See, this is a problem when you build an arena and
15 minutes.
Yeah, you build an arena in essentially 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're right.
They have 4 stadiums in that city. They were all full. They had soccer games going on at the exact same time because in Riyadh season, they want to have like as much crap
Activity,
as possible
right.
going.
Mhm.
So what's going to happen for Mania? Or they're not going to have running water and bottled water and restrooms. And I mean, they better figure that out.
At least they got a year to figure it out.
Right.
but
Well, they better figure it out.
ASAP.
But
But, like,
you know how that
right.
year gonna come through like right now.
The AJ and Gunther match was great, but it was that I didn't understand the ending, and I still
I
don't
didn't
understand
either.
the ending.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna take your gloves off and your boots off, okay, but then you put them back on.
He
Now you put-
answered it on
right.
Stephanie's podcast.
What did he say? I missed it.
He said, never say never in pro wrestling.
Then what's the point of
what's the
retirement?
point of
She said, I know everybody. He said, everybody comes back and wrestles at least one match when they retire, right? And she goes, yeah, everybody, which is true. I can't think of one person that's retired and not came back. But
You're looking at him, baby.
Oh.
I didn't retire though. I quit.
yeah, see, so that doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Kurt Angle's like the only person I can think of. He did that match with Corbin, and he retired, and we ain't seen him since.
He's
Well,
all messed
that's
up now.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. But Corbin, he said, or
Against
Angle?
Corbin.
Yeah,
Angle
Corbin.
against
Yeah,
Corbin.
yeah. Okay. You read about that. You haven't seen him back, but that guy's made. I mean, he was such bad shape.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Physically, like just torn to pieces. But yeah, I just like the match was good. The ending was weird.
Everybody in the audience was just like, "What?" They had that
Yeah.
shocked look.
I'm surprised. I mean, you called it, Sarge. You said they were going to pull the trigger on that,
Yeah.
but it's so anticlimactic. You don't know what to. It's like the John Cena thing with the I'm giving up for the next generation. You didn't do a good enough job telling that story
Right.
to build up to that to earn that finish, right? Like, yeah, I get it. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi moment, right? I have to die by the hands of Darth Vader to activate Luke and get him going.
Right.
But I'm still going to come back as a Force ghost to help him become a Jedi. I know this is all nerdy
Because
Star
nobody
Wars
ever
stuff.
retires.
Right. But there was no drama, and nobody, like, the crowd was like, what? WTF was what the crowd was like.
Mhm.
And,
That's
they
all you
said
saw,
it. They
too.
said it in their language, though.
Right. Like, they were just like, what? It wasn't like when Cena retired, it was like, it was the same thing. And then you got to leave the memories alone music montage, and then you're out. It was terrible. I don't know.
Can
What was the other
smile-
match that was bad?
The smile and the tap out
Yeah.
kind of did it for me.
Drew and Sammy was good,
Drew and Sammy was
Yeah,
good.
Drew and Sammy
but
was
that's
good.
because the
Like that.
crowd helps because they
Right.
care about Sammy.
Right. Because he's the hometown dude.
They wanted to see Sammy
Um,
win, but you already knew that they weren't going to pull the trigger on Sammy.
I just
Right.
I knew that he had a chance, but not a good chance. Did you watch Raw? By the way,
I have started
Yeah.
watching it.
you watched the promo at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Which
don't. I
promo
don't
are we
want to.
talking about?
Punk and Roman.
That was excellent.
Listen,
Craziness.
Excellent.
that's 2026 Austin Rock.
Yep.
Blur lines.
2001.
That wasn't
It's right
kinda
there.
good. That was really
Oh,
good.
real good.
Yeah.
But it's sad too, because like if you listen to Roman on the Pat McAfee show, he's like, why do I have to still be even doing this?
Yeah.
Because you haven't built anybody up to replace me.
Right.
Yeah,
So I've got to dust it off. And he made a really good point, a really good shooty point he was like, it's not like I'm sitting around like he's had like Dusty Rhodes where he's trying to insert himself into the main event over and over again, even when he's not that over.
Mm-hmm.
He's been gone for 2 years.
Right, right.
You had him more
we
than
haven't
enough
seen
time.
him.
to
We
get
haven't seen
someone
him
else
since
over.
War Games.
Right. They did that little thing with him and Solo,
Yeah.
and that opened the show, if I remember right,
Yes.
at one of those European shows.
Yep.
They blew that off there, and then he went away again, and now he's back, and they didn't get anybody else over like him.
Roman is at top of his game right now,
Yes.
though, as
Oh,
far
no
as
doubt.
confidence and personality.
I know this is wrong or whatever, but he needs to be a heel, man.
Roman.
Yes.
I kind of
Yeah.
like him like this right now, where he is
Like
acting
Austin?
like a heel, but
Yeah.
he's not really a heel. And if you don't like him, oh well. And if you do, then put your finger in the air type
Mhm.
thing.
It's wild to see I know it's typical wrestling psychology because he basically followed the same trajectory as The Rock.
Yeah.
I hate this guy. Awesome
Yes.
heel. Now we love this guy.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we'll love him forever now. But it's interesting to go back because I was watching in my studies this last week that WrestleMania match with him and Triple H. Where Triple H has the mask and Stephanie does the promo at the beginning on the big stage.
yeah.
Excellent match. Very
love
good. Roman's working his butt off. Triple H is working his butt off. They booed that guy out the building until his comeback.
Yeah.
And then they got behind him.
Yep.
But he still wasn't over after that.
That proves they were only booing him because they thought it was cool to boo him.
Yeah.
When they got invested into that comeback, they forgot.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to boo Roman.
Right.
No, at that
again,
point, they were like, "Here we go."
that's how great Triple H is.
Yes.
I want to go back to your point on something real quick,
Yeah.
man. So you remember, like, it was about early 2000s when Paul Heyman, he was the general manager for SmackDown.
Yeah.
This was back when they started building more stars. You know, you had guys like Edge, Rey Mysterio, you know, Benoit,
Eddie.
You know,
Mhm.
you had stars that you could build up and then put the title on them, and then they can go away and do other things.
Mhm.
Now it's just like we got to dust off Roman Reigns. We got to dust off, hypothetically, got to dust off John Cena. We got to dust off, you know, The Rock.
Yeah.
All these old names because
People
nobody's over.
People like stars.
Oh yeah, people like stars and everything like that. But
And you got to worry about the now when it's Mania.
how can you build up stars if you're doing the same thing every week?
I agree.
There's something, you're exactly right, because they have guys that could be stars. Like every time I see, like the dude who has the aura, like Austin and The Rock used to have, or Hogan has, the dude on the roster who has that aura now to me is Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Like you look at that dude and he is like, you're like, this dude's money.
He could have won the Rumble. And
He
it
could have
would
won
been-
it.
and
He
it would have
did.
made a lot of sense.
And he'll be in that match. But then, like, there's something about him that he needs to get over that hump. I don't know. And part of me was like, what if they put him in the Vision?
No,
Nah, I think it's too big. For the
that would
Vision.
be. He's too big for them.
So, what would you do with him? Because it seems like there's one piece missing from him. And I don't know if that is another undercard belt run. I don't know if that's a tag team with the main eventer.
He needs a consistent feud with
Yeah.
one person, and this feud that he's in now with
Yeah.
Cody and Drew is going to be it. This is his launching point. Don't be surprised if he wins the title at Mania.
He's up Fatu.
Jacob Fatu. Don't,
Jacob Fatu. If he does that, then that's going to be good.
and that would answer your problem of there's at least one star made
Yeah.
right there to have something going forward.
But like, let's get some more stars to build up, because you know you gonna have Cody. He's gonna be going away for a while, if like probably doing movies and stuff like that. Like if somebody's doing a movie, how come we can't get some other stars to put the belt on?
Because they got to get him over.
Well, they got a few guys right on the cusp though. Braun Breaker's right there.
Yeah.
It just takes a 3-month feud and he's there. You also have Logan Paul, who's ready to go. It just takes the right feud. I think some of the guys are there. It's hard to have everyone in the top spot at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
Somebody has to take a step backwards to let someone else get that spot. There's only so many starting quarterbacks. There's only so many guys taking shots.
Like when you had Rock and Triple H Austin and Triple H going at it, then you had the Rock and Sock connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Kane and Undertaker
yeah,
would be a
Kane and
team if they
Undertaker.
weren't going for the title.
Right.
They'd pull them back and put them in a tag.
So who's that combo?
Well, now it's Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. They're the
None
three
of those guys have had
they're
the
the
big belt
three.
before.
No, but
No,
they'll be the next. 2 of those 3 will be world champions.
Yeah, I could see that.
And your whole goal in the Vision, in any faction, your goal is to get guys over. Usually you have your one main guy, which the only difference with them, it was built around Seth. He got hurt, so they had to take a turn. It would not be, the Vision would not be what it is right now. They did this as a like, we got to do something. It was supposed to be built around Seth.
Yep. But Seth is kind of, and I'm not trying to diss Seth because I think he's awesome, but like he seems kind of played out.
Well, he is. That's why.
Yeah.
But you would use that to launch Braun and then launch Logan
Yeah.
Paul, and then I don't even think Logan Paul was going to be in the group if Seth wouldn't have got hurt.
You're probably right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. He was just like,
They went.
we just need somebody else. Come on.
Well, they
yeah.
went with quantity to cover the quality of, because Seth's over, whether we like him or not.
No, he's a guy
Oh,
you
yeah,
can put
he's
right in the
over.
main event.
We
Right
were
in
at
the
a
main
show.
event.
We were at a Raw Super Show in Cincinnati. They sung his music for legit 15 minutes.
I believe it.
in a house show.
That's how
I
it was
believe
at
it.
SummerSlam. One of the SummerSlam.
Yeah,
we went to.
Roman got so mad that he slid back out of the ring and was complaining because they couldn't even start the match.
I believe it.
Hey,
They kind of teased Becky being in the Vision too, and then kind of peeled that back. Do you think they need a woman in there?
She would have been in there if Seth wouldn't have got hurt.
I'm about to say, yeah.
because she cut
Probably
the
so.
promo.
And go back to the Rumble. Wasn't that a weird elimination?
That was. You talking about with Braun Breaker?
No, with Braun Breaker was weird, but I kind of liked it because if you're not,
I was
gonna
okay
have,
with that.
if you didn't have Braun go over, doing that was a
Yeah.
great way to protect him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
It gets people talking.
beat him up. He just rolls in. He's on the street,
Yeah.
gets the clothesline
Yes.
over the top rope,
Right.
and what the heck just happened? Great way to
The
protect him.
Becky elimination.
That's
who'd
what I'm
she
talking
get
about.
Who'd she get eliminated?
I
by?
believe it was Lash Legend. Picked her up like a baby.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah,
Picked her up like a baby and threw her over the top rope, and she landed right on her tailbone,
Yeah.
and their feet were in the air. And then she started yelling at the referee, "My feet haven't touched the ground yet." Then they cut the camera away, and then she's gone.
And it was just gone. They were like,
Sure.
yeah.
I thought, okay, well, they're going to make something out of this if her feet haven't touched the ground.
I
Dude.
do remember she did say that.
Lash eliminated everybody.
And that was your pick too.
She tore it up. I mean,
She looked great.
Yeah.
She did great. She was intimidating. I still think she's a little green, though.
she is.
She's kind of like Trick Williams, you
But-
know,
but-
like this package is phenomenal, but needs more.
Is that not the
seasoning.
perfect
Right.
environment for Lash though, where it's just like pinballs and coming at her? And
When I believe it was Roxanne Perez rolled up on Lash, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
She is enormous.
yeah,
She was, and not in a bad way, folks. I'm not saying that Lash. I think she's very attractive, but like, holy cow, she
Oh.
made Roxanne Perez look like a child.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she was huge.
Roxanne got razor's edged like
Yep.
head first onto the pile
Yep.
of girls on the floor. I thought, man, if they don't catch her, she's lawn darting right to
Oh,
the.
no doubt.
It was I don't know. Well, you weren't here for the Rumble for the watch along. Let's get some of your thoughts, Sarge. I know we got a couple more minutes before break. A couple more seconds, rather.
So the one thing I loved about it and one thing I hated. So I hated Gunther. Looking back at it now, I hated him being 30
Why?
I did too.
because he had already retired AJ. He should have just been done for the night. Did you notice when he came to the ring, he was limping,
Yep, from the calf crusher.
which is great psychology.
Yep.
But they told on him. They told on themselves
Yeah.
that he was losing right then.
It was very weird, and I'm not really sure why you didn't not save a big return for that point, but like you could have had someone get over.
Roman should have been 30.
Roman should have been
And
30
clean house and won.
or
Oh, no doubt.
Chad Gable.
Yeah, that could have been the return
Like-
of Chad Gable.
Like Chad Gable comes out there and it's down to him and Roman. Because
Mhm.
that would have given him an oomph for his comeback. You know what I mean? He dumps like 3-4 people, then it's him and Roman, and then he gets, eliminated by Roman Reigns, and then it makes sense. But we got to wrap.
I would
this
have
up
had the
before
whole
break.
vision left in the ring, and then Roman's music hits.
We don't have to talk about that vision getting eliminated. That was awful. All right, folks, we got to go pay some bills. What do you give before we do? What do you give it? 1 to 10?
It was about a 8,
8?
8.5.
What do you give it?
6.
I give it about a 6 or 7. Yeah. All right, let's go pay some bills. We come back. It's Black History Month, y'all. See you in a little bit.
Ohio has over 920,000
Your
diabetics.
boy.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Seems like that break kind of went by
Real quick.
That's all
How
good.
we
For
like.
one commercial.
We are cards subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He's Ben Chimera, and he is Sergeant Ledbetter. And we are.
I should have brought the belt.
Ooh.
I should have brought the belt.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week. We always got next week. He won't be here next
I won't
week.
be here next week.
Oh, he won't be here next. Oh,
We only got an hour next
1
week.
hour
We're,
show.
we're
I'm
truncated.
I'll let y'all hold down the fort. I'll do something with the fam.
We'll do something with the fam. Go get
They'll
some frozen
appreciate it.
custard.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
there it is.
We're sponsored by King Magazine. Y'all remember King Magazine?
all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
King Magazine was like a hip hop magazine
Yeah.
where you just know about all the stuff in hip hop.
It was like Slam.
Yes.
Slam was for basketball.
Yes,
King
King.
was it the same publisher?
I think so.
Because they almost kind of had the
Possibly.
same format.
I love
Yeah.
Slam magazine.
Slam
I
was
did,
awesome.
too.
I used to get it all the time at the mall.
And then the ESPN cover when they dropped with Eminem and Megatron on the cover together.
Yeah, that was dope.
Dude, I'm trying to find that magazine.
ESPN the magazine was kind of underrated.
It was
It was
underrated.
highly underrated.
Remember when they had Bad Boys 2 on the cover, the
Mhm.
Pistons? Because
They know people at E ESPN.
they know people.
That's
Yes.
I
why.
had a subscription to ESPN magazine for a while
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Was it like Columbia House where you like got a bunch of issues and didn't pay for them?
Yeah, I bet Kev got it where it was thrown in. Like, pick 3 of your favorite magazines for your free 3-month,
Right.
trial.
You know what? It was like that. And then I think about the third month I had like a $79.
There you
charge on
go.
my
You
card. I'm
forgot
like,
to
no.
cancel it.
Yeah, I forgot about
Thanks,
oh.
ESPN. They used to do people like that.
Did you get the Sports Illustrated football phone?
I didn't get the phone.
Did you get the phone?
I had the phone. I had the jacket.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
not the jacket.
I gave my dad the polo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he still wears it.
I wonder how much those phones are going for on eBay. We got to take a look and find out.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
We
not that
don't
anybody
know.
has a landline anymore.
I'll
But
say,
Benjamin Kamel, you big dummy.
Oh, you a big dummy. You're out there in the field, you sound. We're talking about Big Cat earning lead. But before we get into that, we're going to start Black History Month off right. We're going to do it the right way. And we're going to talk about a white man.
hey.
Yeah,
That's terrible. We got to talk about Mid-South Wrestling. We got to talk about Cowboy Bill Watts because there's so much controversy around Cowboy Bill Watts. Because if you look at this guy, he's like a cartoon caricature of the biggest racist on planet Earth. Big old beard, good.
Yeah.
He's got the beard. He's got the Coke bottle glasses, the
Yep.
cowboy hat. He looks like a bad guy in a blaxploitation movie.
He does.
I'm gonna turn your community center into a parking lot, kids.
Yep.
And then Turbo comes out and pops and locks it.
He said, "You come here and do one of these."
He's got the flannel on, the cowboy boots.
Yeah,
the whole
there-
deal, yeah.
The whole shebang. But you know, Mid-South Wrestling was super important to pro wrestling because man, Bill Watts could tap into that audience. The territory days where he was working mostly out of East Texas, but then he also had Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, and Louisiana. And that being kind of quote unquote the Mid-South, you had huge black populations there. And Bill Watts was ensconced in that territory. He was a known wrestler. He was incredibly famous and popular. But I think that he had the foresight to understand this audience of go back and look at those audiences, 50-50, black and white.
Yeah.
Little sprinkling Hispanic, but there's a lot more black people there than anybody else. And typically you don't see that in a crowd like in the Northeast or, like Baltimore or even if you go to like the Cow Palace back in the day,
Yeah.
But Leroy McGurk, Hall of Fame promoter, he was a wrestler too. He was blinded in a car accident, became a promoter. He started Mid-South Wrestling and it was okay. But when Bill took over, I mean, Bill Watts showed up, sued him, and then actually won an antitrust legislation, got Mid-South, got possession of it, and took over the whole territory. And like I said, it was a huge African-American crowd, and Bill Watts was, let's be honest, he was a friend to the black community at a time where it wasn't that black wrestlers weren't popular. Obviously, super huge Bobo Brazil guy, right?
Oh yeah.
In Detroit, being
Right.
mostly black, he was over.
Mhm.
Black people were part of the show and part of the main event. They were always baby faces for the most part because you were trying to sell to that audience. But Bill saw a bigger opportunity, right? When was your first time watching Mid-South, Kev?
Let me see. My very first time I saw Mid-South, it was when JYD was there.
Yeah.
And I saw him and I'm like, whoa, what? Because I'll tell you what, I got into wrestling like, I'll say about 96. I was watching
96?
like WCW for a while, and then I found out it was life before WCW. So I would watch like shows from like WWF and Mid-South and AWA and things like that. The very first show that I saw, it was JYD. He was on there. I forgot who he was wrestling, but I'm like,
charisma.
Probably Ted DiBiase.
It probably was Ted DiBiase. And I'm looking like, I've never seen this guy before.
Yeah.
You would see this stuff. You would never see something like that on WWF TV.
Right.
Dude, they would dance in the aisles when
Yes.
JYD would come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was that over.
And we're gonna get into JYD later in the show, but like that was what was your first time watching Mid-South? What was your first time watching it?
It was actually way after I started watching wrestling. I got to finally see Mid-South. Of course, I'd read about it in the wrestling magazines.
Yeah.
And then I remember when they got sold to Crockett,
Mhm.
and that was in 88.
Were they UWF when they sold to
Yeah,
Crockett?
88. And they just had to absorb them all into the dressing room.
Yeah.
And one day they just all showed up. That's wild story. Shane's told me that before. He said it's wild, but we can talk about that another day. But so probably when I was able to start accessing YouTube, that was when I would go on and then that DVD came out. I think
that was a really
Mid-South
good
I
one.
like that DVD.
The Legends of Mid-South.
And I really wanted to see that because I didn't see it. I had never really seen it before. I'd only read about it. So I wanted to see it. And the lighting was always odd to me.
Well, the crowd, it was almost like the lighting on a Cody Hawk type indie show, because the lights were all super bright on the ring. And I mean, I've wrestled on 1,000 Cody Hawk shows, but like it's not a bad thing. But you're in the ring and it's super bright, and then you look out in the audience and it's all, you can't even.
But it's like studio lighting, but in a coliseum.
Right.
Very odd.
I could be in the ring, and as far away as I am from you right now, at arm's length, couldn't even see you. You know what I mean? Because the lights are they're flooding in on you. You know what I mean? And plus it bakes the ring.
Well, you know what his reasoning was. Nobody cared. Nobody's paying to see the fans.
Right.
Well, yeah.
That was his reasoning, though.
Bill had a very simple and logical way of doing business. And it was so good and so well done. But he made a lot of enemies because he was too smart.
And opinionated.
Like when he eventually became the head of WCW, and he was like, well, I'm going to take the mats off the floor and make it a disqualification if you jump off the top rope or if you throw somebody over the top rope. Now, technically, like, he wasn't keeping up with the times because you had the Rock and Roll Express and the Rockers and everybody's flying around, but it makes sense, right? If I'm wrestling you, Kev, and I distract the referee and I poke you in the eyes and I dump you 8 feet in the air over the top rope and you splat on a cement floor, that's what when wrestling we call it that catastrophic cutoff, or that's the end of the match.
Yeah.
Right. I need to cheat to beat you. Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember that fantastic Iron Man match between Ricky Steamboat and Ravishing Rick Rude when Bill Watts was there? Beach Blast, 91 or 2?
4 or 3. No, 3.
93. Rick Rude, 2 of his falls were a DQ because he jumped off the top rope and did the knee drop on Ricky Steamboat and knocked him out and then pinned him like 4 times after that.
Jeez.
But that's good psychology, right? Yeah. Like it's making a rule that the heels can break in order to get heat, but it was a little behind the times because people are jumping off the top rope.
Well, there was
one
at that point thing he did I did not like.
Okay, here we go.
WCW.
Here we go.
So he made the rule where you're not allowed to jump off the top rope, and then he launches the cruiserweight, the light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
So what's that? That's like that. You know what that reminds me of? You start up a NASCAR company, and then you go around tack a bunch of speed limit signs on all the streets.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. I don't think he really thought that through.
Didn't really think that one through. Nah, probably not. But for whatever controversy he had, like, we're getting ahead of ourselves on Bill Watts. I could probably do a Bill Watts show, but we'll talk about some of his other stars. But man, what did he like? Nobody out there entertained the thought of a black world champion.
Not at all.
For whatever reason, I don't think they can draw, or they don't have a specific set of talents. Who is the dude who made the first, not just the first black world champion, but the first black white meat I don't mean that folks' skin tone. We mean like a pure of heart baby face, world champion, and have him go over your top monster heel clean. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cowboy Bill Watts did it, right?
Yep.
And at that point,
Oh,
well, but at that point in WCW, he didn't have to pander to a black audience.
Mm-mm.
His audience was actually mostly white at that point, because you went from, you know, the Alabama, Louisiana, all that over to Georgia, where there is a large, you know, Atlanta is a very large black community.
yeah.
Well, at the Omni,
Right.
it was a very large black crowd because
Right.
they would chant "Whoop, there it is," all match.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Sure
yeah.
did.
They that was like their thing.
Party people.
Especially when Too Cold Scorpio.
Yep.
If you go back and watch any Too Cold Scorpio match in the Omni, they would chant "Whoop, there it is" for
Cold
the whole
Scorpio.
match.
Well, a little autistic sidebar here. You remember when they used to do the Arsenio whoop too?
Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
He and New started that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yo baby, yo baby, yo.
That's Ninja rap too. You could
Ninja rap.
stick that in there.
Let's take you to bed
Vanilla
right
Ice,
here.
baby. But you know, I mean, Bill Watts was clearly a friend to the black community. He made a lot of controversial statements. We'll talk about that in the go home of the show. But overall, would you agree that Mid-South and Bill Watts did a lot for as a black man? Would you agree that Bill Watts like really turned the corner for the black community in pro wrestling? I think so. What do you think?
I think so too, because like how you said, he put that idea of having a black champion as something to look forward to, because you know you had champions in the WWF, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. I mean, they didn't look like me.
Yeah.
So for somebody to come into the WWF and they look like me, Coco Beware, Junkyard Dog,
Yeah.
you know, Tony Atlas.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're doing too much over here.
he won the tag team championships and everything like that, along with Rocky Johnson. But what about going for more?
The guy.
Having him be the guy. I mean, he had the body and things like that.
Yeah.
But I wonder why the trigger wouldn't pull.
I know.
Old try. What?
I know.
What? Vince Sr.?
Well, let me tell you something.
All right, here we go.
So
Here we go.
Vince put the tag titles on the Soul Patrol because they were over. Okay. They hated each other. They were nothing but trouble. They didn't want to work with each other, and they were like a super liability. So he got the belts off of them. Now fast forward to 86. He's ready to put the Intercontinental title on Butch Reed. He no-showed.
He sure did, yeah.
So I'm not saying that there was a racial trust issue there, because it's not like white people weren't no-showing.
Yeah, we definitely were.
But this was in an era when if one person does it, you paint the whole
They were looking
thing.
for an excuse.
Yes.
Here's an excuse to
We'll try.
not do it. Well, you're exactly right. And it's tough because it's like you look at Butch Reed, and I look at Butch Reed, and I'm just like, man, why wasn't this guy he was The Rock?
Yeah, he was.
Oh man, so good.
He was The Rock before The Rock.
Man.
The fact that he's juiced to the gills, puts the conch in his hair,
the blind
blinds his hair, but I'm all natural.
He was one of my favorite heels when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mine too.
9 years old, I remember Natural Butch Reed with Hiro Matsuda.
Yeah.
and Sting on a pay-per-view. And I thought,
Yes.
man, this dude's like the real star, Butch Reed.
Yeah.
Not Sting.
But he was such a goof.
He was just so with the shades, and he had the Macho Man boots, the stars on him.
Yep.
I mean, this dude is a star.
Yeah.
Came in with a silk vest on too.
Man,
You got a silk vest on. You are right in my book, man.
But
He was phenomenal.
they had him booked to beat Steamboat, and he no-showed.
Sure did. I'm like, oh man.
So, and that made Vince sour on him.
What?
I still think it's kind of weird to hold an entire segment accountable for that, because I went back and watched, Ron Simmons beat Vader.
That power slam.
The power slam was incredible.
Oh my God.
All those black kids in the front row.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have thought you just handed them a winning $1 million lottery ticket. They're
Yes.
running up and down the aisles. They're jumping up and down. It was an unbelievable moment. The locker room dumps. Everybody's out there. Sting endorses him. It was so good and so well done. You would never have seen that in WWF at the time.
No.
Mm-mm.
The closest dude would have been Tony Atlas, and no.
Not at all.
Right?
When Vince got JYD, I know we're going to talk about JYD later, but
Yep.
when he got JYD at the end of 85, okay, he had a drug problem.
Yes.
Yep.
And Vince knew that. And that was the reason that he didn't get a bigger push. They were having JYD team with Hulk on the house shows.
He was that over.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
He was that over. And how can we forget the Haiti Kid?
Oh man, Haiti
Right.
Kid. Yep.
They and I know that sounds weird, but like they put the Haiti Kid out there, man. He was so over.
Yep.
He was so over. People just wanted to love that guy.
Oh, no doubt.
And even though he was a mini or a micro, I mean, he was just, I don't know, unbelievable.
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 Yes.
But I think overall, to your point, Kev, like, there needed to be a white face championing black wrestlers.
Mhm.
And no matter how controversial you want to say Bill is, I don't know how much time we got left, but why don't you Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics is a friend of the show, and he's a friend of ours. You were talking to Bobby this week, getting show prepared and doing research about Bill Watts. And obviously Bobby worked for Bill
Worked for Bill, yeah.
a long time. So why don't you tell what you had the conversation?
I don't want to quote too much of what Bobby said
Right.
because some of it was personal about
Right.
Bill, but
Right.
for the purpose of the show, he said he was very opinionated,
Yeah.
and you either loved Bill or you hated Bill, because he was the type of person that if you didn't take the business seriously, you were going to hear from Bill.
Oh wow.
I wonder if I've ever met anybody like that.
Well, this is beyond anything me or you.
I'm
We
talking
ca-
to the
We care. We care too much, probably.
Yes,
If you didn't protect the business, say you went to the bar, and this is a story I was told. You went to the bar and you got into a fight with a fan.
Mhm.
So imagine this, Kev.
Yeah.
The fan beats you up. Bill finds out about it. He would make the wrestler go back to the bar that night and find that fan and beat them up
Wow.
to prove. And Bob Orton Jr. wouldn't do it, and Bill fired him
Wow.
That's how
I
much
never
you
because
heard
he
of-
would
protect
not
the
go back to
business.
the bar and beat. He's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." Okay, fine, then I don't need you
wow.
back.
I never heard that story before.
Yeah,
I mean, and to wrap it up, right quick, you would be fined or fired if you were fraternizing. Like if you were a babyface and I'm a heel, if we talked to each other in public, or we stayed in the same hotel,
Yeah.
or we were on the same airplane, you're fired.
I
yeah.
was like, kayfabe was like,
Kane.
Yeah, and I know we got to wrap it up, but that was the mentality back then. If you guys have you ever heard the story of real quick when Ric Flair got in that plane accident? Wahoo and Dusty rushed to the hospital. They called the cops because they thought Wahoo and Dusty were there to finish Ric Flair off.
really?
Yes.
Wow.
They thought they're here to make sure he's done, and they called the cops. But they also drew 30,000 people to a house show.
This is true.
So that
Yeah.
was how it was done, and that's how kind of it should be still. All right, we got to pay some bills. We come back, we're going to talk about the big cat,
The big cat.
the big cat, Ernie Ladd,
Best,
See a little bit-
best friend of Bill Watts.
best friend of Bill Watts.
With Ben Camara and Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Right back into it like we left some card. Subject to change. And we are sponsored by
No
World
one.
of Wrestling
Apparently-
Magazine.
Apparently, they're not sponsored by anybody.
Yeah, you
Apparently.
feel me?
World of Wrestling Magazine.
World of Wrestling Magazine. This is when you try to get all your news from all the wrestling federations.
Yeah, wasn't it just like candid fan pictures in there, like a lot? Am I remembering that right? Where it's like pictures from house shows that a fan took with their Polaroid or whatever.
Sometimes.
It was sometimes
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
that.
like anything official.
Oh, but they had people out on the streets.
They
brother.
did.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
they were
Back-
back up.
Back up. Back when wrestling publicity, you could actually make a living off of that.
Yes.
And now you can't.
I would look at those pics and I'm like, I don't remember that happening. Oh, it was a house
Show, and he was from me to
Oh.
you
Yeah.
taking that picture.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I didn't know that.
So we're here to talk about Bobo Brazil's star student, the big cat Ernie Ladd.
Big Cat Ernie
The
Ladd.
big cat Ernie Ladd. Now, Ernie Ladd was a phenomenal freak athlete, man. He went to Grambling. He was a starter. He was a Hall of Fame collegiate football player. He would just roll people over. He was 6'10",
Yeah.
329 pounds, lean, gigantic human being. And he was such a great athlete. But back in the day, and I know we can maybe get into this later, if you played in the NFL, you made nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is back when people were smoking cigarettes and drinking beer on the bench.
Yeah.
And they had to get jobs in the off season.
The off-season job,
Working at the mill or
working
whatever.
at the steel mill, but the number one off-season job for Big Cat
Wrestling.
Ernie Ladd was being a pro wrestler. He would play for the Kansas City Chiefs. He played for the Chicago Bears. He got injured and had to leave football. But he was in the AFL before it merged with the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
So he played for like the Chiefs and the Chargers and basically every West Coast team before the merger.
You know that merger was all the work, right?
Everything's a work.
Well, remind me to tell that story.
I'll
another
tell you.
night.
I'll remind you to
Yes.
tell that story.
Yes.
But I mean, the guy was a freak. He was awesome, a great pro wrestler, and really, he was so menacing and so intimidating looking and so powerful. He was really kind of the first black heel to make it on the, in the territories,
yeah.
because there weren't that many black men coming into pro wrestling, and it was very easy to make them a babyface for marketing purposes. Because hey, why would if I'm a hated heel, then why would I show up to cheer this guy even if I am black? Because I believe that wrestling is real.
Right.
But Ernie was just like he was just incredible, and he made his first year in wrestling. He made $150,000. Now, folks, that seems like nothing today, and it's true. It is nothing today. But back then, that was like making almost $1 million.
Yeah, the WWF guys in the early 90s, late 80s, that was about their base pay.
Yeah.
Was $150K.
Yeah. And he was incredibly talented. But here's the cool part about Ernie Ladd, at least that I think. The guy wore every hat in the business.
Yeah, he did.
Every
Wow.
hat. Wrestler, manager,
Booker,
producer, booker,
trainer. Yeah.
travel guy, ad sales.
Yeah, he did the ad sales.
Like he'd go to car dealerships and pose with people. And of course, people were smaller back then. So like 6'10" and 325 now. Like if you were sitting in the room with the three of us dudes, he would be an above average size guy.
Oh,
Everybody
Yeah,
in
he's
this
still
room,
big, but
right?
back then, oof.
Like he was a giant
Yeah.
back then. Like I saw some pictures online of him at the car dealership with like a little dude, just coming up to there, like his polo.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was such a charismatic guy too. And he was so authentic. He's kind of like, I'm not saying this to be like a racial, he's like kind of the black Ole Anderson to me.
Black
Would you?
Ole?
Yeah.
Black
But
and some Black Dusty
Black Dusty too.
because he could talk him into the building.
Yes.
True.
And we all goof on everybody with impressions, but
Yeah.
Ernie Ladd had such a way of talking where he was from the deep South. Now, Kev, tell me if keep me on the straight and narrow
Mhm.
here. Like if you're from the South and you're black, you have an urban accent, but you also have a Southern accent.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of times, and I'm not knocking him, the character Mushmouth from Bill Cosby, Fat Albert,
Fat Albert.
right? He was a Southern, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he wasn't he wasn't dumb. He was just yeah, he had that accent. But Ernie spoke very clearly
Yeah.
and very scary
and very loud.
yeah,
Yeah,
He had like
showed
that.
was
He had an
loud.
echo in his voice that carried really, really loud.
yeah, and he would tear people down in promos,
Sure did.
and just like there was like no coming back from it, man. He would just ruin people. And you know, in doing the research for the show, obviously I know who Ernie Ladd was, but holy cow, man. Like
he was a beast.
he was just unbelievable as a wrestler. He was unbelievable as a manager and as a wrestling manager. Because if you
Mhm.
remember, when the Samoans, Afa and Sika, go to Mid-South, they're playing the whole we're the Samoan savages, we're illiterate, we don't speak.
Right.
You had Ernie as the mouthpiece, and you could just slide him right into those 6-man tags after he retired and still get him over. I watched JYD, Andre, and Dusty versus the Samoans and Ernie Ladd. Phenomenal.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
man. I'm gonna have to look at that match. I'm gonna have to see.
It's on the box set, the Legends box set. It's so
Ooh,
good.
yeah,
What
I've
are your
seen that.
thoughts here, Sarge?
So I loved that Ernie Ladd would feud with Andre. We were talking about it off air. He'd call him a big dummy.
Yep.
Andre the Giant, you big dummy.
You big fat French fry.
Yeah. And he would who would let Andre have it? He was the only guy that
Yeah.
was man enough.
Yeah.
6'10", 330.
Yep.
And he's feuding with Andre.
He slams Andre in that 6-man
You
tag.
sure did. You know what?
Slams him.
I remember somebody told me about that too. I'm like, okay, it's somebody else that slams Andre. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Bundy said he did it every night for like 5 straight
I believe
house
that.
shows
I
in,
see that.
80,
Bundy's
in
huge.
83.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But you know, they do. He was so good and so talented at everything. We could do a whole show about Ernie Ladd, but would Ernie have had the platform he had without? I'm not trying to put Bill Watts over extra, but this is what I mean by talking about the Mid-South territory and Bill Watts. He drew money as a traveling heel,
Mhm.
but it wasn't until Mid-South that he really found his groove.
He was Bill's best friend. He was Bill's right-hand man. At that time in wrestling, no African American had ever been given that spot.
Yeah.
That was to have an office spot like that was huge,
Mm-hmm.
because now the shoe's on the other foot.
Yep.
If there's any racism going on, it's going to get snuffed out real quick.
Real quick.
And it did get snuffed out real quick,
Mhm.
because if anybody tried anything stupid, you're not going to pull it over on Ernie.
Right.
He'll wring your neck. That's what he'd say. I'll wring your neck, dummy. But in 80, so we 85, 86 was when they were really in a bad spot, because that was when Vince Sr. was starting to pluck everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He
Pluck.
was JYD was the first to go. DiBiase gone.
Yeah.
Duggan gone. That was just on the WWF side. Oh, Coco Beware
Mhm.
gone. Then Turner started taking people.
Yep.
Sting, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Terry Gordy, the Freebirds, all those guys that were doing Mid-South world class got all of them.
Got-
They brought in the Snowman. Snowman was an African American male.
And this is not to be confused with Iceman King Parsons.
No.
Iceman's very good.
Snowman looked like Tony Atlas. He was
Awesome.
jacked, could not work a lick,
Tony
But-
Globe.
but they were bound and determined to replace Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought in Muhammad Ali
Tony Continent.
and put him with Snowman, and still didn't get him over.
What?
No, he was that bad. I sent Ben the match.
It's rough.
It's so
Oh,
bad.
wow.
But it's a case again of this guy's handsome, this guy's jacked. He's going to be our new star. Let's just get him out there.
Yep.
Let's not train him. Let's not do
Yeah.
anything. Because you know what? If the guy had some seasoning, he probably could have been their top baby face
Oh, no doubt.
with some seasoning. But
They were desperate. They
Right.
wanted to fill that spot. But this goes back to Bill Watts. He wanted that African American presence
yes,
because he knew the value in it.
yes.
I want to thank my man Bill Watts for giving me this opportunity, because around here, man, down south, this racism bull jive around here.
Well, he fired Ernie.
Yeah.
So
You can't
JYD,
fire me.
Ernie went to the ring and he stretched Junkyard Dog out. Real
I believe
good.
it.
Stretched him 8 different ways. Comes to the back bragging. Bill goes, "You did what?" He goes, "I just stretched out that young JYD. He's not very good at all. He'll never draw a dime."
He ain't gonna never draw no dime around
Bill
here.
said, "You're fired," and fired Ernie Ladd.
You can't fire me because I swept out JYD.
Of course, he
That
brought
boy.
him back.
Brought him
But-
back. But
'cause
to
he
make
knew-
a point,
because he knew the value of
Yeah,
Ernie
yeah.
Ladd.
well, the Ernie Ladd value, like like I said, guys, I'm gonna hate myself even before I say this. His value was so much it transcended race in the locker room.
Yeah.
Because to your point, like Ernie Ladd was in that Undertaker position, right?
Yeah.
Locker room, judge, jury, executioner.
Yes.
He was the captain of the locker room. He ran things behind the scenes. There was never any African American that was put in that position until that point.
People don't realize unless they played sports with
Mhm.
integrated races how important it is when the races get along.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why sports are so important.
Yes, it
Exactly.
draws everyone together.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like your guard just completely gets let down.
Yep.
And now you're one.
This is my teammate.
It's not,
Not
well,
my black
it's not
teammate,
prison.
not my Hispanic teammate.
It's not prison,
My
Kev,
teammate.
where it's like the
Yeah.
Hispanic guys are hanging out over
He
here
said, "Nah, ain't none
and
of
the
that."
biker boys are hanging out over here
Right.
and the brothers are over. It ain't none of that. You know what I mean?
So it ain't like gang warfare. in the
No,
90s
Ernie
and
Ladd,
everything else?
Ernie Ladd, you got what Ben said earlier. You got the most racist looking dude, even though he wasn't.
No.
Standing there, Bill Watts, Cowboy Bill
It
Watts.
looks like his name would be like Corncob Jones or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. And then you got
Cowboy Bill Wise is a pretty
and
good
he's
one.
like 6'5" or 6'6"
Yeah, he's
himself.
a big dude.
And then you got Ernie Ladd. They don't look like they would ever get along.
It's like a buddy cop movie.
But
It's like
they're-
Lethal Weapon.
But
Yeah,
they're,
pretty much.
but they're
Hillbilly Lethal Weapon.
yes, but they're best friends.
Right.
So if you walk in the locker room and you got a racial problem,
Yeah.
you can't really go much further than that because
Right.
you're looking at the office and it's two total opposites and they're together as one.
Right.
So
Who got
you-
a problem with me over there being a black man? Who
Right.
told you about that, huh?
yeah,
You're exactly right. And Ernie too was like they weren't just opposites as far as like color goes. They were opposites in the sense where Ernie was like a little bit like Ric Flair. He had the chain and he had the pinky
Sure
ring and all
did,
that.
yeah.
And he was the high class guy with the nice hair and the nice beard. And then Bill's like jaw spitting,
right.
whatever. So they're opposites, but it works out. And Ernie Ladd is actually a little bit of trivia here. He's the only dude for years that was in the WCW Hall of Fame, the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, the WWF Hall of Fame, and the Collegiate Football Hall of Fame.
Oh wow!
Nice.
The only dude
You
for
know,
years.
I was doing some research. You know who Ernie Ladd kind of looks like?
Who?
Bill Withers.
Yes.
Ain't no sunshine when
Yeah.
she's gone.
He does kind of look like Bill
With
Withers.
a little bit of Fred Sanford in there too.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
fresh.
He probably gonna say, "Ain't no sunshine when she's gone."
Shut up, dummy. Shut up, dummy.
Shut up, dummy. All these dummies round here.
Oh, Ethel, I'm coming, Lord Jesus.
And-
I'm a coming.
But
That's
that
how he died.
that opened the
So
door
good.
for a Butch Reed. That opened the
Yep.
door for a Ron Simmons because now they're sitting there going, "Well, I played football and I want to be a wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to be like Ernie Ladd."
So if he can do it, I can too.
Mr. Hughes was Big Cat
Yep.
Sure
in
was.
tribute to
To
Ernie
Ernie
Ladd
Ladd.
because he gave him the blessing to do it.
Did Curtis Hughes ever wrestle without his glasses?
No, he rigged up tape.
Yeah.
They were taped on.
Okay, yeah. I can
Yeah,
see
he
that.
cut electrical tape and put it together and made like a strap
Yep.
for them to where they could not come off.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. But I think too, like we look at like, and I know that this is kind of silly-ish, but like he's the prototype, Ernie Ladd, for like the dominant black heel champion. Because like when you watch other, like when you look at Keith Lee or you look at Mark Henry or you look at like I'm trying to think of who else would be like a really good example. In a way, Ahmed Johnson, kind of like, even though Ahmed was a babyface a lot of times, they all kind of worked like him. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they were hyper aggressive, basic stuff, clubbering. Like I'm not saying he's not, wasn't good.
Omos, if
Yeah.
he got a push, could be the Big Cat Ernie Ladd of this era.
Big Cat
Only
almost.
if.
He
Yeah,
would.
of
I don't
course.
know if he'd have the promo skills,
No,
but
English is not his best.
as
subject.
far as I'm saying, just
not because
being
he's dumb, because
a big
some-
dominating
yeah.
African American heel champion.
or almost is just African, isn't he?
Mhm.
Is he?
I think he's from Africa.
Yeah, he's from Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I say his promo isn't there, because when I remember him talking, he's very thick with his accent, isn't
Right.
he? Yeah. So
Okay.
like we were talking before the show, talking about Dude in the Vision.
Oh well, that he was originally going to be with
Almost.
Logan Paul.
That would make some most sense.
They were
So,
going to have
yeah.
they were going to have him be the heater for Logan Paul, and then they had to put Logan Paul in the Vision. And I think that put the skids on that.
They're probably that's probably
That would have been great for him.
Oh, that'd be
a very
baller.
big missed opportunity.
Imagine
of
Logan
something
out
else
there chop in his mouth, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden the baby face turns to the crowd like, "Should I hit him?" And when he turns back,
He's like, whoa,
there's
wait a minute.
Omos.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
So if Ernie Ladd was still alive today, would y'all think his promo style would go along? Like,
Oh man.
Oh, I think so for sure.
Yeah.
because he's so polished. Like this is a guy who is not only best friends with Bill Watts, he's very dear friends with George W. Bush.
yeah, yeah.
And I know what I'm not trying to make it political, but like this is how juiced in and popular this guy was. Like he was friends with big name people, like
Right.
and you know, he's people, you know, Jim Ross has kind of come under fire recently for some racial heat or whatever, but I know he was close with him. I think their friendship was more based on football, college football, than
Yeah.
anything else.
I would think
You
so
know,
too.
but you know, I think Ernie Ladd now. What age would you say he would be now in this hypothetical situation?
let me see. When did he pass? I think he passed
He
like
passed it 20 years ago, 2007.
so I would say about if he was
If he died at 70, so if he'd be 90 now.
yeah.
But if we're talking about him like Paul Heyman's age, like 57, 58, you think MVP is good in the Hurt Business? Can you imagine peak Ernie Ladd
That'd probably be
instead of
yeah,
MVP in the Hurt Business? I'm not saying MVP is bad. I love him.
No.
But like Big Cat Ernie Ladd and something like the Hurt Business. Listen,
can
all
see
you
something like
crackers, like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
You're
like-
holding me down and you're holding me back.
Right.
That would just be nuclear heat.
Or just be the manager of the nation.
Well, him.
Domination.
yeah.
So he's a Louisiana guy, right?
Right.
Okay. Them guys always have good charisma.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Slick.
It's in their blood. Because Louisiana's where all the music and the dancing, it's in their blood,
Yeah.
right, Kev? That's
Yep.
that's what they do down there.
Something in the water down
They
there.
got they got it going on down
Yep.
there. in
It's all in the
Louisiana.
crawfish.
Yeah, and that's why the wrestling crowds were so hot down there too.
Exactly. Isn't that Louisiana? Is that the guys with the dancing casket?
That's what
Remember that?
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
Obafemi's doing
The
when he
dancing-
comes out.
yeah.
I think is he's doing that
The dancing casket thing?
I don't know if it's that exact dance, but it's something New Orleans. I guarantee it.
It probably is. All right, we got to go pay some bills. We will be back. And when we come back, we will be discussing what, Kev?
What we discuss?
What are we discussing? We will be discussing Tony Atlas, Mr. USA. There it is. We pay some
Yeah.
bills. We'll see you in a little bit.
You can make the decision right now to get
Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Well, that rounds them out because they did not have a center that could get 10 now. The Kenta guy, he couldn't get 10 points in warm-ups.
Good rebounder, though.
Good
right?
rebounder, good defender. But, Kev, if you give him the ball a foot from the rim, you don't know what's going to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the second half of Cards Subject to Change. My name is Big Kev, Ernie Ladd here. Got the big homie.
Kev, Ernie Ladd.
Got the big
That's his
homie.
gimmick.
That's it.
Benjamin Cadman over here. You got big old Sergeant Ledbetter.
Big dummy Sergeant
Big
Ledbetter.
dummy Sergeant.
Yes.
And we are sponsored by the app Vine.
Wow.
You remember Vine?
TikTok comedy is garbage. Vine comedy?
Vine? Oh my God. You can't tell, hey,
Out of this
y'all can't
world.
tell me nothing, man. Vine comedy, I will go down a rabbit hole on Vine all the time. And
Yeah.
go crazy.
If you go on YouTube and look up like best Vines compilations,
That's where it's
gold.
at.
Gold.
Oh my God.
When they mix up the Baby Talks a Lot doll
Yeah,
and they have her do the whisper song,
I remember that one too.
I laughed so hard that I
What was
started
the app
crying.
that WWE tried to push?
Tout.
Tout. What happened to Tout? Did it get ousted or what?
Yeah, that one was that was the only one for around for like a good few months.
They tried to make that a thing.
They
They
tried
tried,
to make
to make fetch a thing.
They tried to make that a thing, and I'm like, I believe me, I tried.
Stop trying to make tout happen, Kev.
We need to
Hey.
let's create an app called Fetch.
Fetch.
I don't-
It already exists though.
It does?
Yeah, it's
There's
a
an
task.
app?
Yeah, Fetch is a task. It's like TaskRabbit.
Oh, okay.
Too bad.
So
But
we're
that's
little-
so Fetch,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's so Fetch. But like, what happened to the tap out? You remember when they were
Yeah.
like tap out in WWE? Everybody had to wear tap out on the
Yeah.
show,
Everybody.
and then that just disappeared one day.
You would think that would be back since their relationship with
You would
UFC.
think so, but alas, who knows what's going on? They're
I'm
going to be
about to
based.
say-
We're going to be doing a Raw from Afghanistan.
It's going to
here,
be
Yeah,
right?
sold.
there you
It's
go.
going to be sold in 2 years
Right,
anyway. So
you're right.
who
I
cares?
think they stopped doing that tap out because you see a whole lot of overweight people wearing tap out clothing.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But it,
And they're mediums.
yeah, mediums. When it should say takeout instead of tap out.
Takeout or stakeout.
horrible.
Stakeout, yeah.
They're mediums.
It's mediums. It's it.
Oh,
Sponsored by
man.
KFC instead of UFC.
The Colonel.
Oh,
We're having too much
man.
fun tonight, folks. We're
Yeah,
having
we'll be
too
kicking
much
it.
fun.
We kicking it.
We're having
tonight.
too much
Kev,
fun.
Ernie Ladd over there.
Big Kev Ernie Ladd, but Big Kev's favorite is who?
Yeah.
Tony Atlas. Now, Tony is so, I don't want to say controversial, but let's say it. Because this guy could have been easily on everybody's Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
Great athlete, good looking, great body, decent promo. Bill Watts saw his Hulk Hogan in Tony Atlas. In fact, he pushed him like Hulk Hogan.
Sure did.
Yeah.
He didn't get the Mr. USA thing until Bill gave it to him,
Mhm.
and he had the tights. And Watts, obviously being a college football player and working in the NFL himself, he was an athlete. One of the cool things about Bill Watts was he liked to push real athletes. And he started doing the feats of strength with Tony Atlas
Yeah,
with the bench and stuff like that. You remember
What's
all
he
that?
bench 505.
Yeah.
505.
They had him.
Dude.
They had a promo where, it's Stagger Lee, which is JYD in a mask,
Mhm.
and Bill Watts is standing there just yelling at Tony. Tony's like ready to pee his pants. He's benching like 500. Let's go to he's like, it's good stuff. But Tony was so powerful and Bill Watts did such a great job of taking someone's real athletic background and dovetailing it into their
Oh, yeah.
wrestling character. Now, was your first experience with the Soul Patrol with Tony Atlas, or with your age, was it Saba Simba?
Yeah, I was I saw Saba Simba
Yeah,
like way before I even knew who Tony Atlas was.
yeah.
So, you know when he did that debut
Yeah.
at the wrestling challenge, I think it was the wrestling challenge.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was
Roddy
one of
Piper?
the two.
And Roddy Piper said, "Hold the phone.
Yeah,
That's Tony Atlas."
he completely buried it.
He sure did. He said, "Proud of his heritage.
What is this?
What is this garbage?" And I'm like,
Unbelievable.
who's Tony Atlas? And then I had to go
Yeah.
back in the time.
Yep.
I had to do some homework at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This was The Rock's dad. This is how I know about
Rocky
The Rock's
Johnson,
dad.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rocky Johnson and Soul Patrol and how they came together and things like that.
You know they didn't like each other. Did you like Soul Patrol together?
I
thought
did.
they were good.
Did you know they didn't like each other?
I
though?
never knew.
I didn't know that either
I
till
didn't know.
later.
Yeah.
They were very good together as a tag team goes. But
If you go back and watch it, you can tell they don't
Yeah.
even look at each other when they tag.
Yep.
It's just like you can tell they just don't like each other.
So
It's
whatever-
got to be awkward.
So they would take pictures together. They would, get one for me.
Right. That's
When
got to be
they're-
got to be rough because you're riding
Yeah.
together. You know you're going to be in the ring with them. I mean,
But what precipitates that? You think what back then could have been so much heat?
it was over a woman.
Always is.
Yeah,
always
always.
is.
One of them, Tony stooged to Rocky's wife that Rocky had cheated on her.
What?
But
Terrible.
and there was more to the story there. But yeah, that was what started it.
Talk about feet too.
I don't think feet were a thing.
No.
Man. I don't know.
And Tony Atlas was a foot above everybody.
Yes, he
else.
was.
He often suffered defeats, but he was able to
He got.
he was able to toe the line
At-
and come back.
They tried to push him as a singles guy
Yeah.
after him and Rocky split.
Was he a heel?
Yes. No, he wasn't. He was a babyface.
Oh.
He refused to do a job to
Did he arch
Somebody-
out of pins?
some top guy. He didn't want to do a job, and Vince said, "Just leave, man. I don't have nothing for you."
Was it the Soul Patrol or the Souls Patrol?
Yeah. Right. You have to ask Tony that if you ever see him. Say,
He's open about
I
it.
know. Are you sure?
He's
you want the
open
song?
about it.
Sure you
Kev,
want-
did you talk to him about it?
I didn't talk to him about it because I was kind of afraid of what
Yeah.
would happen.
Yeah.
But I had to stay like a few feet away
Yeah.
because you probably be looking at my feet like, "Hey man, you got some big feet right there."
I've witnessed all that stuff. I watched some girl walk right on him like he was a piece of
I
asphalt.
saw that.
Yeah, it was right in front of my table at Squared Circle Expo.
I saw that too. I'm like, now wait a
I
minute.
said, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to what I'm doing.
He was doing the funniest thing I've ever seen associated with that was he was doing an interview for Dark Side of the Ring. And I can't even remember what episode it was. And
Yeah.
he was so casual about it. He was like, that's why I like women's
Yeah.
feet in my mouth and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, what? What?
Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
All right, cool, bud. It's not heroin. It's
Hey,
weird,
it
but it's
really
not.
ain't
It's not
heroin.
drugs.
I
so-
do feel bad for him because like he witnessed Bruiser Brody's death and no
Yes.
one believed him. They just acted like because the cops were paid off by the invader
Yep.
and it was like a big thing and he's sitting there telling them like, hey man, he stabbed him. And the cops was like, oh yeah, whatever,
Those corrupt Puerto Rican. He was juiced in, right? Like he was not him, Tony, but why am I blanking on his name?
Which one? The invader?
The promoter.
Um,
Quinones?
Ray Quinones?
Yeah, was
Is that what
him?
it is?
I think it was Quinones or something like that.
They wrestled in WWF shows back in the day
Yes.
as the Invaders, and
And
they were a high flying team.
And I remember, and it's sad as this is gross. Maybe I shouldn't tell this on the air.
Maybe it was Victor Quinones.
Victor Quinones, that's it. But
It was one of them.
I'll tell you, they had to to cover it up, they just stuffed him in a box.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And they had to break his legs and fold them back up to stuff him in a cheap box and buried him as quick as they could. And I know this is weird. We're talking about Bruiser Brody, folks. I know this is he still down there? Is his body still down there?
I don't know.
I had no
Or
idea.
did someone go get it?
I know they probably spent every ounce of money they made at the door that night to pay them police officers.
Oh, no
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No doubt.
Brody was in the shower. They were after they wrestled, and Atlas was in the shower, and Victor comes in.
Brody was mad because he wanted a bigger piece of he was
Yeah.
promised a piece of the gate.
Yes.
and then they didn't give it to him, and he was upset about it. So he was going to try to buy out their portion of the territory.
Yep.
And like steal the company from them,
Mhm.
supposedly. No one knows if
Allegedly.
he was really
Right.
yeah. And then next thing you know, like, well, we got to get rid of this guy. He's a threat. And then
they buried him Hitman style.
and they went
Awful.
terrible.
Let's talk about something more positive, and that is Tony Atlas's Mid-South run. It was fascinating doing the research for this show because I think one of the best white meat baby faces of all time, hands down, is Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
True story.
But Duggan was a heel in Mid-South,
Yeah.
you know, teaming with DiBiase, and then they were a third
They were
guy.
the
Was it
Rat
Matt
Pack.
Bourne.
Yeah,
Matt
they were the
Bourne.
Rat Pack.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like a weird type of four horsemen, and you know, DiBiase had the loaded glove, and Duggan had the black boots and black. It's like Bizarro World watching
It
it.
is.
Two
Watching
more
it.
ex-football players.
Yep.
Though.
True.
Watts liked his football.
Yes,
he liked
he
the
did.
he liked the hoss fights.
Yes.
He liked the big dudes knocking each other around. But that feud was really good, and it was really kind of like cemented with me how great the black babyface was in that territory. Because when Atlas, it was junk JYD, and Atlas got a reaction, maybe a hair underneath him.
Oh,
Yeah,
no doubt.
like Atlas was the. What do you think? Let's talk about this for a second, because we're talking about JYD in the next segment. What do you think put JYD like a little bit over Tony Atlas? Because Tony had like the classical rep. I'm a pro wrestler. I'm jacked to the gills. I can talk. I can sell. What put JYD above you? Raise your hand first. Go ahead.
JYD was there first.
You think so?
Charisma.
That was it.
His charisma, he was there first. He was the OG. He had the chain, and I think that got people behind him because he had props always get over,
Yeah.
and he would dance.
Yes.
And they can
Dump.
relate. All those fans could relate to it. They were in Louisiana. They were in the Mid-South Coliseums, where in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep.
So they're down there. Then people were dancing. They're ready to have party and have fun.
That's true. It was very
Oh,
musical oriented.
And
And the
Tony
territory,
Atlas didn't
yeah.
dance like that.
Yeah.
Rocky Johnson was the one who would hit the jabs and do the footwork. and
Yeah.
so Tony
Yeah.
was more of the he
Hulk
was kind of
Hogan.
pigeon-toed.
Yeah.
So he didn't really move real well. A
Clunky.
little clunky in the
Yeah.
ring, but dude looked like $1 billion.
Oh my
Tony
goodness.
Atlas had that curl. Too,
He had a
that
little
slick
Jerry
back.
curl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, I can't do that right now.
No. Have you seen Sinners yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen
I haven't
it? You
seen it
seen it
yet.
yet?
I need
Interesting
to.
movie. You'll like it. I was like, man, Kevin looks so good with that haircut because he's got that like relaxer and like the side part, you know.
Oh yeah.
You go-
Like James Brown?
no, not that long.
Oh, okay.
Not that long. It's like it's short, like in between me and you.
Okay.
But he's got like the side part. It's real sharp. Take a look. I
I
know you cut your own hair. Check it
Yeah.
out. You'll like it a lot because it's very musical. It's really interesting movie. But back to pro wrestling, I guess. We got a Transformer roll out?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. All right. How about one last thing? We'll talk about Tony Atlas here in Mid-South. He had a nice little tag run with Andre the Giant.
That's
and it was
awesome.
really,
Yeah.
really good matches. I was watching it. Andre was Andre. Obviously, he was enormous and gigantic, but it was kind of weird because everybody in Mid-South was enormous. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we all sit and think about like the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. We all think, oh, he's a little guy because, you know, he wasn't like juiced to the gills like Warrior. No, that dude's 6'5".
Yeah.
And
Well,
260.
260.
Yeah, he's not a small guy by any stretch of the imagination. But when you get him in there with Andre,
Oh man.
it makes Andre look smaller and Ted look bigger. What I think that if Andre was going to be in a tag team and he was going to be quote unquote vulnerable, Mid-South was the place to do it.
Oh,
He could
easily.
get away with selling. What do you think?
Yeah, and they used to do Soul Patrol and Andre and six mans, and they would main event all around the country for events.
What a fun match.
So
that
when
was.
they got
Oh, man.
Tony with Andre, when Andre'd come in on his loops, it was like plug and play, man. They were perfect for each
magic.
other. Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give Tony Atlas?
I'll say about 8.
8?
Could have been a 10.
Could have been a 10.
Realistically, probably about a 6 or 7.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm with you. I think he's between 7 and an 8. All right, we got to go pay some bills. When we come back, JYD.
Yeah.
JYD.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you in a little bit.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do
Here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
We are card subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He's Ben Camara. He is Sergeant Ledbetter. And we are sponsored by what Sarge put in last segment.
Okay.
Tout.
Oh, yeah, Tout.
We're sponsored by Tout.
By Tout.
That was when WWE was trying to dip their hand into social media before social media was a thing.
Was that a video clip thing or what was
It was.
that?
Yes. It was if I remember correctly, it was like a 10, 15-minute video clip type of ordeal.
Okay, like YouTube or like Reels or YouTube Shorts or something like that.
Almost
type
like
thing?
YouTube Shorts, but you would say like, what were you doing that day? Or what they try to do was
It's like a video blog, right?
Yeah, pretty much like a video blog.
You could just record your day and then chop it up and
And then
post
tout it out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It touted out.
Interesting.
Tout it out.
So like they would say like, hey, what did you think of Monday Night Raw? And they would do like a 10, 15-second video. And it was some people that was around here that were into it too. It was okay with me. I really didn't do much with it,
Yeah.
but it was there.
Yeah. If you watched it, you watched it. If not, no big deal.
Yeah.
I got you.
The Vine thing is the crazy thing. Everybody was on Vine.
Yes.
And then they were like, we're done with that.
Did somebody buy it and then kill it? Or
I think Microsoft bought it and then
and
killed
then they
it.
just killed it?
Because I think that what they had or what they were trying to do is develop Skype into like a social
Yeah,
media
yep.
thing. Now
Okay.
Skype doesn't even exist anymore. Now it's just Microsoft Teams.
They don't
That's
like they don't like fun.
They don't like fun over
They don't-
Microsoft.
They don't like fun over
Bill Gates likes the fun, apparently.
Oh, no doubt.
That's who I need to get to. I have another. I always have these inventions. that
All
I
right.
come up with. You want to hear my latest?
Yeah,
one?
let's
hear it.
I have
Let's
no
hear it.
problem putting this out there.
All right.
Because
Put
if
it
somebody
over.
wants to come up with this, they can have this idea. Do I have time to talk? It's only going to take me a couple minutes.
All right. Well, let's
Okay.
do it. Let's do it.
So you know how you got a jar of peanut butter, and we'll say a normal, not a little peanut butter jar, but a bigger one.
Mhm.
And you get down to about that bottom fourth, and it's just a pain to get down in there and get the rest of that. You get it all over your hands, and imagine if you had a peanut butter jar that had a lid on the top and a lid on the bottom to where you
Oh.
could flip it over.
Ah.
Now you keep the seal on the bottom and you keep the lid on it. And then when you get down to like that last third, you flip it over and you crack the top, you crack the seal, and now you got fresh peanut butter on the top, and you can get the rest of the peanut butter out.
It's $1 million idea.
$1 million idea.
Do it.
Do
Go below the glass. Like make it glass.
Well, no,
too.
I'm just going to take 2 peanut butter jars and I'm going to cut them in half and I'm going to put
Okay.
them together and I'll
Tape
tape
it
them
up.
together and just make a prototype.
There you go.
There it is.
All right. You're our next
But
sponsor.
here's the thing now. You guys eat peanut butter. Do I put a divider in the middle to where it's like that much and that much? Or do I just let it all be open and then put a lid and a lid and then you just flip it?
I think it depends
The
on how
divider
you
would help,
consume the
wouldn't it?
peanut butter. It would help, but I think it depends if you're a knife peanut butter person or you're a spoon peanut butter person. Because if you're a spoon peanut butter person, the both end, no divider would be ideal, right? Because you
Right.
can scrape
You
it off the
you can
side.
get it all in there.
But if you're a knife peanut butter person,
yeah, knife
the
and
divider
spoon
might
does
help.
make a difference.
it does make a difference.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to think about that.
I definitely think about that because
All right.
I'm actually kind of both. you
If
know what I
anybody's listening steals that idea, I
Right.
want a percentage of it.
mean? Yeah,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
5%.
Yeah, I'll
Plus-
come looking for you. I don't care
Yep.
where you're at.
We'll hunt you down.
You can do both.
I'm
of them.
coming for you, you big dummy.
You big fat French fry. Which is funny because Andre's Polish, but everybody associates him with Grenoble, France.
Grenoble.
Let's talk about the JYD. Kev,
Yes, sir.
was JYD red hot?
Oh man, he was white hot.
White hot. And that's the hottest heat.
The hottest heat.
The hottest heat there is, baby. We talked about it before in a couple other segments. We can't help but not talk about JYD because for being a character that's like, he didn't talk much.
Mm-mm.
He didn't really have, and I'm not dissing him because I do love him. He was like the ultimate warrior. Like the matches were just, there were some gems, but most of the matches
Yeah.
were not great.
Yeah, Warrior was probably a little bit better athlete,
yes,
but Dog had more charisma.
Through
by
the roof.
far, yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
and that headbutt finisher might be one of the worst finishers I've ever seen in my life.
When he used the
So
big
thump-
he used the big thump power slam too.
that was great.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when he get on all fours and he
Oh,
charge.
You didn't like
yeah.
that?
How is that a finish?
He didn't use it as a finish.
Anything
Though.
is a
Because if
finish.
you got a hard head, then
If you go back and watch Mid-South, it's a finish.
You get hit by a JYD headbutt.
I will.
Tell me if it didn't knock you
Unfortunately,
out.
I can't.
See, white guys are on the very bottom of the
We have the
headbutt.
soft skulls.
We have we're on the bottom of the headbutt totem pole.
Samoans
yeah.
are at the
I was
top.
about to say, but what happened if it was a Samoan that did that?
Well, Samoans are on the top, and then the Japanese wrestlers, and then the African American wrestlers, and the white guys.
So do you remember
That's
Mr.
how the totem
Fuji?
pole works.
That is correct. Do you remember Mr. Fuji's finisher, the spinning back senton?
I love that.
Yeah.
If that's what JYD used with the headbutt, the spinning back senton, he ran and flipped into it and dropped his head on him. Totally legitimate and believable. Totally.
I just thought it was a great character when he'd get
It
down like a dog, and
was.
they'd try to
Yeah.
get up, and he'd scurry across and nail them, and I love it.
I'm not saying
I
it's
love
not
it.
entertaining.
You
I'm
just don't
talking
like
about
fun.
credibility.
Uh-oh.
That's
Just say
true.
You just don't like
fun.
fun.
Well, ever since I quit wrestling, I don't have fun anymore.
You probably didn't like when Shark Boy would do the fin on
Who?
the head either.
Ah!
Exactly.
Who?
You probably jobbed to him a few times.
A few.
I know.
A few. You know how many stunners I mean, I've taken between Buffalo Brian Jennings and Shark Boy. I mean, I've been stunned like 1,000 times at least. At least. I would always try to outdo myself like The Rock. I would try to find the most like ridiculous sell I could possibly sell.
Hey, got to.
It was good stuff.
And then get up on the mic and tell everybody off.
Yeah. I'd get up and I hate everybody. I turn around, boom, there he is again.
Yeah.
Boom, laid out. Good stuff. Folks, I used to have fun in wrestling and then I quit.
Like JYD.
Like JYD. Well, here was a good storyline. I want to get into this. You remember when he did the Freebirds blinded him with the conch?
Yep, I remember that.
That was not just, that was so good because it was so racial.
Yeah.
It was highly racial.
It was racial in all the right, best ways. Oh, we're going to straighten your hair, boy. He's like, no, the crowd's going nuts for him. And then they take the conch. Okay, but ladies and gentlemen, conch back in the day. Kev, you describe it better than me.
Conch is like a little greaser they had.
It's like
to-
lye,
yeah,
right?
It's like lye just to lie your hair back. It's almost like a perm in the tube.
But you would put all this cream in your hair if you had super curly hair. Mostly African Americans use it to straighten their hair, but like even everybody uses it. But because it was a lye base, as soon as that thing started to heat up, you had to wash your hair.
Yes,
Because it was incredibly noxious, toxic chemicals.
that would burn to the white meat.
Didn't
Yeah.
Buddy Jack Roberts have a little curl going
Yeah.
on too?
Yeah.
I
Well, that's
thought-
when he lost his hair, right?
Right.
Yeah. But they took the conch and they wiped it in JID's eyes and they sold it like the lies in your eyes, and he's burned his eyes
And
out.
the people
Yeah.
in the crowd could relate to it.
Yes, because Kev, tell me if I'm off base here if you want to explain it. Conch is like if an African American, specifically man, wants to do their hair to make it quote unquote look white, having a bunch of racist hillbillies trying to force you to make your hair look white, air quotes, that's mega heat.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I like how you said that too, because at the time JYD he had curly hair.
Yeah.
So it was like a curly fro.
So
So
football helmet afro.
Yeah,
You know what I
like
mean? It's like a
football
mullet,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what they tried to do was they tried to make his hair like fall back.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen.
Yep.
So they put it in his eyes and blinded him.
Blinded him.
Technically
Blinded him. But man, that you go back and watch that, man, it's so hot.
That's a Bill idea.
That's a Bill idea.
no doubt.
But here's that's what made Bill so great with the black athletes, because what can I do to my black baby face that's going to make that crowd ready to kill somebody, whether they're black or they're white? Whether they're black or they're white, I want them to kill the Freebirds. Kill them dead. That was so good.
That was crazy.
And I say good, I don't mean it's good that he was blinded. I'm saying they drew a lot of money.
That was on the Mid-South DVD, right?
It is.
That's what I thought.
Yep,
That's
put it
where I
right
saw
in his
it.
eyes and burn him right out. But like that drew a lot. I think it was a lead we were just talking about before. I think it was at the Superdome in Louisiana. They drew 32,000 for the blow off for that.
Yeah.
It was Michael Hayes versus JYD, man, and that was a house show, folks. That was a house show with 32,000 people there. What a gate! What do you think the gate was for that, Sarge? Ticket price wise, We're talking
Tickets
1980.
were between $5 and $10 probably.
Yeah.
5 general admission, I bet. Maybe 10 or 12. Probably indie prices now.
Yeah.
Not TKO prices.
No, no.
So we're probably talking a $90,000 to $120,000 gate off of that, right?
If they had how many? 32,000.
Yeah.
Average ticket price probably $8. So I'd
Yeah.
say they drew $250,000 that night.
$250,000. That's what you pay for a seat at WWE events right
That's
now.
true.
Yeah.
But think about like how simple that was. And if JYD didn't have the charisma and talent that he had to connect with the audience, it wouldn't have been that hot of an angle.
No, not at all.
And yeah, you wouldn't want to waste that.
Right.
That had to be on the top guy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that with an undercard guy like Rocky King or somebody.
Right. Or even Iceman King
Yeah,
Parsons.
yeah.
Like you wouldn't do it with that guy. You wouldn't torture him to the point where he loses his eyesight.
Right.
That's hot heat, man. That is hot.
Speaking
and-
of bad hairstyle.
Iceman feuded with the Freebirds in World Class almost
Yes.
at the exact same time.
Yep. Sure did.
Yeah.
I
They all copied each other.
Pretty
well,
much.
If
on
it worked
certain
down the
things,
road,
on certain things.
if it worked 300 miles away,
Yes.
it's going to
It's
work
gonna work right here.
right here.
And it's different crowd. They'd never seen it. Not like they were pulling up YouTube.
It's 100% true. And you go back to like those old house show matches. We'd have the same match every night. Drop it into autopilot, because if I'm in Detroit watching this match and you're in Dayton watching this match, what are the odds of me being at the at the show? Even though it's 3 hours down the
Yeah.
road, slim to none.
It said nobody's gonna notice.
Well, now you have to work harder because everybody's watching every match just about.
Well, you could do like loser gets tar and feathered
Yeah.
in one town, and then do that same exact angle the next night in a town, like you said, 300 miles away. No one would know.
Mm.
Only a few people made that trip from town to town.
Folks, wrestling used to be so awesome.
It was so easy.
Oh my
It was
god.
easy and it was awesome.
They've ruined it all now with all this
Stupid internet.
Social media.
fake stadiums and no bottles of water
Yeah.
and terrible.
That had to be the stupidest thing ever. I'm still
Baffled.
I'm still baffled by that.
What gets me to go ahead.
Well, there was people lined up outside trying to get in. I hate to go back to the Rumble, but there
No,
was
there
people
was
lined
people-
up because they're waiting because they were told they were going to let additional people in as seat
Yeah.
fillers. So they were all out there waiting to get in. That's why the men's Rumble, if you look at the crowd, it's a whole different crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They- They let a bunch of people in.
I believe it.
It was 2 a.m.
Uh,
there.
Yeah.
People were gone.
They sleep.
Everything's just so weird with wrestling right now. It's like the weirdest time ever.
It's very weird.
When I go to a WWE shop, it's all Retro X.
Pretty
And
much.
it's not an algorithm issue. These are the top sellers.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody's buying. I mean, CM Punk moves stuff. Cody Rhodes moves stuff. Jey
He's-
Uso moves.
CM Punk's technically a retro guy too,
Right.
though, because if they had his old stuff on there, it would still sell.
Well, they did. They put the black and yellow flag best in the world shirt.
Yep.
They got that back up there, and that was his ECW shirt.
Yep.
So like, all the top stuff is Hogan, Macho, NWO,
DX.
DX, The Rock. Austin's not up there for some reason, but maybe everybody in the world bought an Austin
Yeah.
316 shirt.
I think
No.
everybody's got one.
Everybody's got one. I got a Detroit 316 shirt.
I was about to say, yeah.
That's it.
They keep pumping the Austin figures out, so he's obviously still over.
He's still
Oh,
moving.
no.
It's just weird. But what else is weird, but also kind of cool? The most popular athletes in Louisiana history were Pistol Pete Maravich and Arch Manning.
And Junkyard Dog.
JYD is above both of
Yeah,
them.
I was gonna
in
say,
name recognition.
Junkyard
down there.
Dog.
JYD.
It's unbelievable, man.
How about that theme song you had in the WWF?
Oh yeah, I can't even do it. I can't even like.
It's a song about grabbing butts.
Grab them cakes,
Grab
right?
them cakes.
Grab
Yeah.
them cakes. That's kind of weird.
Had the dun, dun, had that
Well, did he
little
have
beat
another
to
one,
it.
Bites of
Yeah.
Dust?
Yep.
Another one, but
That
that was
was his
good.
first song,
That was
yeah.
good. That
Oh,
was
I
real
love
He
good.
used that in Mid South, didn't he?
Yeah, you use that, and it was so good because he would dance to it and get everybody else dancing
Do
to
You
it.
remember? So JYD went to. This is when he was way past his prime, but he went to WCW, and he was part of the Dudes with Attitudes.
Yeah, I saw
him,
that.
him, Sting, Giant Gonzalez, and Steiner brother. Or no, Paul Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Dudes with Attitudes. They were
Yeah.
feuding with the Horsemen.
They called him the junk food dog.
JYD had just the mustache. He looked
Oh, he
so.
sure
Remember?
did,
Remember?
yes.
He looked like Carl Winslow.
Yes.
When he had
Tony Atlas thought it was funny too.
He sure did.
when he had the afro mullet and the chops, he looked awesome when he had the afro mullet and the chops down to there, man. He looked so cool. And then he looked like Carl Winslow.
Well, he started making that WWF money, and he discovered the
He
other.
was Carl.
He discovered
3, 2, 1.
I think
1, 2,
well,
3.
He had money, and I
What
think
the heck is bothering me? He said, him. You.
You're not a Family Matters connoisseur, are
I
you?
watched it.
You've
It's
seen it,
so
but
rare.
you're a connoisseur.
This day and age.
You know, you
So
guys act
good
like you just watched it last night.
Well,
man.
man. So
I know the music. Like, I
So
got it all
good.
in my head. I just
It's a love
Yeah.
and a grand design.
there you go.
Some people say.
It's a great theme
You
song.
got to remember, I'm a lot older than you guys.
You are. Oh, you're not 68. I'm 68.
Yep.
Whatever. All right. His best feuds. I mean, the stuff with Ted DiBiase was good. The stuff with Butch Reed was good.
Oh yeah.
The stuff with Butch Reed was real good. And then after he lost the loser leaves town match to DiBiase, he kind of did the classic Mr. America thing, even though this was before Mr. America, with the Stagger Lee gimmick. That was kind of weird, wasn't
And
it?
then
That
he
was
kept it
weird.
for a while, and
Yeah.
then Stagger Lee would show up in other territories, which I thought was weird.
Was it him or the gimmick?
It would be him,
That's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
but other wrestlers portrayed Stagger Lee also.
Yes. Which is
He-
the best part of the mask. gimmick.
Yeah, that's weird.
Rotates.
That's weird though.
what is.
Going to other territories and doing
Yeah.
it is weird. I could see if it was like in the same.
Well, back in the day, folks, territories ran in a loop, right? So, and Florida was probably the best for this because you just started the Panhandle, you go all the way down to Miami, and then back up all the way around. But you were on the road 6 days a week, effectively, in just a loop. And it was kind of the same with Mid South.
Yeah.
How would he even have time to go to another territory as Stagger Lee? I think that's the interesting part.
Well,
to
there
me.
was a lot of crossover areas of towns. So Crockett was running the Carolinas, but then they would
Yeah.
work their way to Atlanta.
yeah.
So if they
I
were
could see
in
that.
Louisiana, they could jump over and
It's 2
bop,
hours
bop,
to
bop, bop,
Atlanta.
bop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, you know, that was when Crockett just sent the jet, baby. He'd bought that jet in 86 or 87. They were happening then.
Interesting.
So get the jet ready.
To get the jet ready, we need dog for need Stagger Lee.
Could you imagine JYD on the plane with like Flair and Tully?
Well, that's probably
my
that's
God.
probably what caused him to develop bad habits.
What's
Yeah.
causing all this?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, to put a cap on it's a damper. I always thought it was sad that it always bums me out when a wrestler gets clean and then dies anyway.
Yeah.
And he passed away wrestling, not in the ring, but in traveling. He was in a very severe car accident, and that's how he lost his life. But he got clean before the end. It
Yeah.
always makes me real sad. I don't know,
Candido's
just-
like the worst case.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Because he
Eddie-
got
Candido and
everything
Eddie.
turned back around,
Yep.
and then
blood clot.
Hey,
blood
he-
clot.
He had just left his daughter's graduation.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
just sad. Awful, 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 awful. But great legacy, great wrestler. We come back. We're going to settle this once and for all. Was Bill Watts for the black community? I say yes. Pretty much all of us do. But we'll talk a little bit about his controversies. We'll see in a little bit.
KTH Parts Industries in St. Paris.
And we are right back into it like we left something. We are card subject to change. And you know it's dinner time. Everybody trying to get their eat on right now. So we are sponsored by Swanson Chopped Sirloin Beef, the TV dinner that turned my stomach every time I ate it.
I don't think I've ever had that.
It was.
You wouldn't be here today if you did.
No.
You'd be dead.
Yeah.
You would, man.
It's poison.
Because it was 99 cents.
I'm gonna pop some tags.
Yeah, pretty much. They were like 10 for 10
Yeah.
and brutal. Me and my wife were talking about them the other night.
Oh,
Just
my
how
God.
horrible those TV dinners were and those Swanson meals. Just horrible.
And like you try to sauce it up as much as you can.
You can't though.
And there's
So much salt,
There's a lot of
so
salt.
much sodium. It's just horrible.
And it, like I think first bite, I'm like boom, 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 boom.
Man.
boom. I'm like, I need some water, so I need to go lay down.
Yeah, just horrible.
It's like I don't feel good. I need to go lay down.
Well, eat that brownie. Well, the brownie's exploded. I can't eat it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like soggy or whatever.
Yeah.
It would explode. The brownie would bubble up and just explode.
I said the brownies everywhere on this plastic.
Ugh.
Terrible.
Takes me back. Takes me back to the days of Just Helper.
Oh my God.
No hamburger.
No hamburger.
No hamburger for the helper.
Just Helper.
Just Helper.
Just had noodles.
Yep. Just noodles. And then
Noodles in there.
Haas and I, when we were roommates back in 2000, we would take turns buying a Pepsi One.
Wow.
24 packs it was $4.98 for a 24 pack back then.
Oh man.
And that dude would
Be
drink
$40
all
now.
of that. Yeah, that dude would
pretty
drink
much.
all of them in one sitting.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nah, I couldn't do it.
It was rough, but it was a good times though. It forged me into really appreciating what I had
Yeah.
with wrestling. So we got to talk about some stuff that's awkward now, I guess, but it's part of the debate, right? Because we got to talk, why is Bill Watts controversial, right? So Bill Watts, whatever was said in the locker room was kept in the locker room. We don't know what was said. We know that he's best friends with Ernie Ladd, but folks, you think corporatism is bad now? Back in the day, when you were part of Turner, he owned everything.
Yeah.
Everything. CNN, newspapers, Time Magazine. Time Magazine back in the day was the authority on the news for the most part in print.
Yeah.
And they owned the Atlanta Braves, they owned the Atlanta Hawks, they owned the Omni, they owned the Underground Mall, they owned everything basically in Atlanta. And sometimes that's good. Like they chucked a lot of money into building the Olympic stuff for 1996. So that part was good. But then the other part of it is when you work for a major corporation, you have to be on your P's and Q's all the time. And Bill Watts was just a good old boy from Texas. And he would say a lot of out-of-pocket things.
Yep.
And the number one thing, and here's the thing that you have to understand too about Atlanta, Georgia. He's passed away now. If you think about God tier human beings in the state of Georgia, Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank is a God tier individual. And he was basically like emeritus executive over there at Turner, right? For the Braves.
Yeah, he was ace. He's ace boom cool.
And so they bring Bill Watts in, highly opinionated and just saying what he said. And he was talking about doing what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. And he made a horrible statement about if he owned a restaurant that served fried chicken, he didn't have to serve black people if he didn't want to because he owned the restaurant.
Really? I never heard that before.
Yeah. And that's a dumb thing to say.
That's very dumb.
With a hint of racial, not a hint of racial. I don't know. The point he was trying to make is I'm in charge and I'm going to do what I want to do.
He made a 5% point by making a 95% racial statement.
Yes.
Pretty much.
There were so many different ways you could have said something like
Yes.
that with an analogy, without using African Americans, without using fried chicken.
Yeah.
He would be in his office on the 16th floor of CNN Tower and he would just take a leak out the window.
Wow.
Well, he's from Oklahoma.
Right.
when you eat grain and straw for a couple meals a week, that's kind of normal.
That's kind of normal. Just 16th floor, just crack the window open.
Go ahead and do it. It's just
right
in there.
You know, they're used to peeing in stalls.
Right. Well, I don't know about being a couple floors underneath Ted Turner and then taking a leak out the window.
Ted wasn't doing it at the same time. He got hit in the head.
Yeah, billionaire Ted. Yeah. But he said, you know, out of pocket things like that. He would say things that are, you know, he would say things about the gay community that weren't great. He would say things about how, I mean, I hate to even say it on the air because I hate it, like, but I put some of this stuff together. He was trying to make a point about the TV miniseries Roots. And he was talking about how, well, it was half and half because African tribal leaders would sell their own into. Okay, whether that's true or not.
See, again, 5% point with 90.
Why are you talking about Why are you talking about that? And then why would you say that when Hank Aaron is right down the hall from you?
Yeah. Imagine him saying all these things and then messed up his money and everybody's money right there.
Yes.
And that was back before, like, nowadays, if something like that was said, you'd lose all your sponsors instantly.
Oh, no doubt.
Instantly.
Back
and you'd be out the door
then,
instantly.
You could get away with it because nobody hear about it.
They published it in PWI in an interview because he had an interview with Mark Madden, the guy who was the commentator. He posted all that stuff, and that was his. Once that got back to Hank Aaron, he was out at that point.
Wow.
Now, you hear stuff like this, and by and large, you're like, man, that guy's a racist, old cracker, fool, idiot.
Yeah.
But he's an idiot, but they completely ignore his legacy of building up African-American community in professional wrestling. So, like, it's kind of like goes back to the Hulk Hogan thing, in my opinion. You have one moment of stupidity under the influence, secretly taped, and your entire legacy is destroyed. I don't know if that's fair or not, but that's the cancel culture that we live in. Kev, as an African-American, and this being an important part of the show, why don't you talk a little bit about how you as a Black person feel about Bill Watts with his statements, dumb statements that he made that were racially charged. I don't know if you want to call them racist, but racially charged. And then it's up to you. You can say it's racist, but and then everything he did for Ernie Ladd, Iceman Parsons, Butch Reed, JYD, Rocky Johnson, on and down the list.
Yeah.
What are your feelings about that?
I mean, he's done a lot for all Black wrestlers, but somebody has always said, we do something in the dark, it's always gonna come to light.
Yeah.
So with him saying all these racist things, that's messing up relationships with potential Black people, as far as somebody trying to get into the business and trying to work for him. Like you like this big old jacked up Black dude, but you don't want to work with him because of all the stuff that he says. You know, he's gonna put up that front like, hey, we gonna make money together and all that stuff, and woo. But once you get behind closed doors, it's like, why say all this stuff?
Do you think as a Black guy, you could like, let's say you are that dude, you're a big dude, you're charismatic. Okay, Bill Watts calls you up, and after you hear all this stuff that he says, he's like, oh, come work for me, Kev. I'll make you a big star. I made this guy a star, and that guy a star, and this guy a star. Is it a trust issue? What do you think it is?
The stipulation with that is if he was to come at me with like a big time contract, you know, $1 million or something like that, I would have him say the stuff that he said behind closed doors. I would have him say it to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, we're gonna lay it all out on the floor right here. Say what you said, like behind closed doors. Say it in front of me.
Yeah, with your whole chest.
With your whole chest. And if you say it in front of me, okay, cool. I respect you. And all that. But I don't know if the trust factor is going to be there because of all the stuff that you said. If I can't trust you, I can't work with you.
Yeah, he needs to own it.
Yeah. If you're not going to own up to it and try to serve me some bull jive, then no, it ain't happening. So I would want you to come right at me and say it to me instead of going behind closed doors and saying, "Oh, Big Kev this, Big Kev that," and woo-de-woo, N-word this, N-word that, and fried chicken this. And it's like, man, I never did anything to you, but make you money.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's the hostility?
Conspiracy theory, did he buddy up to Ernie Ladd to help try to buffer that a little bit because of his reputation?
It could have been. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
could have been.
but like we'll never know. Ernie's gone. You know, Bill's still alive, but he's 90.
Yeah.
So we'll never. I don't think we'll ever know.
We'll book
like,
him at Squared Circle Expo.
yeah,
There you go.
get him out
Get him
there.
in front of the
wheelchair.
Q&A. He'll have a meltdown.
Right.
Yeah. Get Piper out there talking to him.
Yeah, there you go.
Man.
Just completely zapped and
yeah,
then out there talking to
That's what
Bill.
that'd probably not be a good
It
idea.
wouldn't be
See
good.
if he shake my hand.
Good luck. But I mean, where do you think it lands? Do you think it lands that he's just so like we talked about it before, like with Julie B, my great grandmother? She loved working with black people, but she was born on an Indiana farm in 1913. When she saw a black person, or I brought my friends Willie or Houston around, oh, those are your nice colored friends, right, Ben? She didn't mean nothing by it.
Yeah.
She's just from
Yeah. That's how they talk.
Right.
Mhm.
She didn't mean anything by that, anything negative. She went to Swaziland, Mozambique on a missionary trip every year out of her own pocket. How do you reconcile that, Kev, as a black guy? Like, do you just say, like, do you ever go to like somebody who has that reputation, be like, look, I heard you said this, 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 and this. I want to trust you, but tell me why you said that or what you meant by that. Do you ever have that conversation?
I haven't yet, knock on wood, but
Yeah. Would you though?
I would.
Yeah.
I would be like, hey, let's lay it all on the line right now before we start making money together.
Yeah.
And you start saying all this other stuff, and I can't trust you no more. 'Cause
Right.
once I can't trust you, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't want it to happen later and then find out about it in the middle of your contract.
Exactly.
And now you're both stuck.
Mhm. And like,
Because you're ready to kill him, but you also need the money because you just bought a house.
Exactly.
And it's like, here we are. What do we do?
And then like on the last, like my last show, I'm out there doing the Buff Bagwell. Like, you know what? I ain't even gonna sell. I'm just going out there like, hey, it's my last show. I don't care.
Yeah.
You go ahead and pin me, do what you want. Hit me with your move. Okay, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah.
That sounds about right. Now, what are some of your thoughts, Sarge? I'm curious.
I agree with Kev. I would want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
If I was an African American wrestler, I already would in that era, I would have my guard up all the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for every black athlete that is taking a top spot, it's going to make a white guy mad
Mhm.
because that's the generation they were in.
Yeah.
Just like when Jackie Robinson was doing, if you watch
Or Hank Aaron.
if you watch that movie that they did on Jackie Robinson,
Is it 42? Is it 42?
Yeah, Black
With
Panther.
Chadwick Boseman plays.
Black Panther
yeah.
plays the
Mhm.
play. Oh,
There will be no challenge today.
man, it's so good. But yeah, I'd have my guard up and I'd want to talk to Bill and I'd want to say, hey man, where are you coming from here? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? How's this going to affect me? Because am I going to have to choke you? Because
Right.
if I go out and have a bad match, you better treat me the same way that you treat Michael Hayes, who
Right.
shows up drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And you better treat me the same way you treat Terry Taylor when he has a bad promo.
Yep.
I want that treatment. But if you're going to hold me to a different standard and call me your, you know what,
Yeah.
That's what we fighting.
we're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that sitting here as a white guy, so I know Kev's sitting there probably in his heart right now, beating, going, you know what, I'd be ready to choke this dude.
Yeah, easy.
But and I think you're right about that. But it's just so unusual because to have that reputation of being like this hillbilly racist and to do more like the Ron Simmons folks. I know we could probably get into this and maybe next week even. The Ron Simmons title win was so big.
But did he do it
Huge.
out of his heart or did he do it because of the lawsuit?
I don't know. That's what I
the thing.
don't know.
There was a
Because
lawsuit.
He had such a legacy with promoting and pushing black wrestlers.
Yeah.
That it would make sense that he would think, okay, Ron's my dude, because let's take the black out of the question. Let's say pretends Ron's white, huge, jacked, football player,
Mhm.
everything that Bill Watts was attracted to.
His positioning on the
Simmons
card
was.
at the time did not make sense that he won the title.
That part is true.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I think that's an interesting
Do
point.
I think Ron could have been the champion regardless?
Yes.
Absolutely. He
Yes.
was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the positioning on the card was awkward because they did a random drawing the week before and said someone in this dressing room is getting a title shot next week. And Ron Simmons randomly gets drawn.
And
Okay.
then wins clean.
And then wins
Right.
clean.
Not just clean, super clean.
Yeah.
On Vader.
Catches him. Vader tries a top rope
Yep.
crossbody. Ron catches him in midair, power slam, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, pop.
Huge pop.
But-
the crowd was ready for
Man.
Ron.
It was out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's my only thing is I smell a rat because there was a lawsuit and Bill had to do something to prove that he was not racist. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
No, it's an interesting
This is
point of
just my
discussion.
opinion.
This is an interesting point of discussion because you never know. Plus, when you're dealing with corporatism
Yeah.
and optics,
Yes.
that's another piece of it. Because what we're not talking about right now is what was all stirring around this time. Malice Green, Rodney King.
Yeah.
And now you've got the head of your wrestling company that's making money for you saying this stuff.
Right.
I feel bad for Ron only because he'll always have that little
Asterisk.
cloud over top of him. Did he win the title only because it was an answer to the lawsuit?
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd have been heavyweight champion regardless eventually
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was working his way up to he'd already had a title shot against Luger.
Yes, he did.
And then Lex dropped a Sting and Sting dropped a Vader and Lex left. So Ron was there. I mean, he was right there. He was the next guy. It was Sting and then it was Ron. I just think the positioning at the moment, it was not Ron. It was hey, we need to do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. What do you
Plans
think,
might-
Kev?
I think plans might have changed at that time because, like how you said, his place on the card didn't make sense. So I think stuff had to be changed.
So you think it was a lawsuit thing? You think it was like, we got to do something here?
I'm thinking so, yeah.
Yeah.
That lawsuit was bad. If you have
Yeah.
you read about it? I mean, it
Yeah.
was bad. It was like a lot of wrestlers all came together and were like, yeah, they don't want any black people in the company. It was bad.
They don't really care about us.
Well,
And if you think about it, it's kind of true. Who was there?
that's why I'm stunned and poorly right now because when I think back in my head, it's like, okay, well, other than take Ron out of
Butch
the
Reed
equation.
was long gone.
Yeah. Who else was black in there in the part of the equation?
Johnny B. Bad was the only one there.
Yeah,
That was
and he's
it.
mixed. So like
That was it.
And wait a minute,
They got rid of Ranger Ross.
Too Cold Scorpio.
Too
wasn't
Cold
there.
was not
he
there
wasn't
yet.
there
There yet.
He was on
Yeah.
his way.
Yeah.
But see, that's when they hired more guys after that.
Yeah.
Because they realized, what are we doing?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of great wrestlers out there. We
Great
could
black
diversify our
You're right. Great black wrestlers.
That's what I mean.
And
Like
it's
they're
such
out
a-
there. Let's
yeah.
get them on the roster. Let's diversify. We're running in Atlanta, Georgia, of all
Right.
places.
Right.
It'd be like running in Tokyo and having a bunch of Russians on your roster.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense.
No,
You
I mean,
know?
I think that's a fair point too, because and like going back to the Coco Beware thing with the conch, if you have a black baby face, it's so easy just to push that button, get people upset, and draw money,
Easily.
right?
Yeah.
That was the thing with me and Richard, Black Jaws. Like
Mhm.
I talk about that on the show. When I gave him the tickets to Maury so he could find his kids, that crowd was ready to kill me. Of course, Richard greenlit all this stuff. I'm not
Oh,
doing
yeah.
anything about, but like when he beat me finally for the belt 2 days before Christmas, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, that's an angle that would have dropped
Boom.
perfect, like
Yeah.
right back in
Oh, yeah.
Mid South or,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Continental or
Easily.
somewhere. It'd been great.
But it was intense because it was easy.
Yeah.
It was,
Well,
it-
when you capture emotion,
yep.
it makes everything else easy.
Mhm.
Personal issues.
Did you
draw
go
money.
online a year later and film a video on how you set it all up and did everything? And
No.
exactly.
I said they don't need to know that.
You didn't do HWA Unreal.
No, we didn't. Like I try to think, I mean, I tell this story all the time now that the business is wide open. I mean, I got punched in the face multiple times for having bad matches. Like popped as soon as I walked through the curtain.
Mm.
And a lot of times, and I'm not saying this to brag or blame shift, a lot of times it was my BFF who was the bad part of the match
Yeah.
and blowing things up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We all got
Yeah.
We all got it.
Oh.
But the point is like there was like that's a good point. So that being said, in your opinion, what would you say Bill Watts' legacy is overall?
He put a lot of black folks over.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't see guys like Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown,
Yeah.
Elix Skipper,
Yes.
people like that.
I always forget. I literally wrestled this dude, and I always forget about Elix Skipper.
Oh, Elix.
I don't know why. He's very good. He was very good.
Skip over.
But you think he just put a lot? He put a lot of black guys. So if you were to say on the scales of justice in your hand, net positive or negative, would you say Bill Watts is a positive influence in pro wrestling for blacks or negative?
Positive for what he did for blacks, but negative for the stuff that he said.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
say
think?
positive, but with the cloud over his head. I mean,
Yeah.
that cloud's gonna has a lot of substance to it that needs to be answered that we may never know.
Do you think that's why we don't talk about Bill? Like in general, like we talk about Dusty, we talk about the Crockett's, we talk
Well,
about all this.
Think
stuff.
about it like this: what was the most awkward segment of our show?
What talking about it? This one.
This segment.
Yeah.
Why? Because it
Right.
brought up things that's just hard to talk about.
They talk about the Grams. When WWE does their historic, they talk about the Grams more
Grams.
positively.
Grams. Are we talking about JYD?
No, we're talking about. Would you stop? Would you stop?
Tony Atlas thinks it's funny.
No, we're talking about the Florida.
Oh yeah, the
territory.
Grams. Yeah.
They did wrong by a lot of people, money wise, and they both went insane and killed themselves.
Man.
Yeah, that was.
Like Mike was all over those DVDs like 20 years ago.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
They were going to Mike to talk
He
about
was a
that.
producer.
Yeah.
And a trainer.
And then he loses his job and
Yeah, that was it.
gets drunk and shoots himself just like his dad did.
Yeah.
They babyface them and the Von Erichs way more than they ever talk about Bill Watts.
Oh, easy.
Right.
Do you think that's the reason why?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's perception.
Yeah.
You try to shine positive light on people that had like a bad thing happen to them.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to shine positive light on people that have a cloud over top of them.
Yeah.
It's very weird how we are as a society.
It is incredibly weird because
Weird.
I know we're going to at the end here, but I think about two cases right off my head, top of my head: Gino Hernandez and Dino Bravo.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Dino Bravo was in the French mafia, the Canadian mafia.
Yeah.
He messed around with cigarette trafficking, and they killed him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was the same thing with Gino. Gino was tied in with a cartel.
Yeah.
He had water, half a gallon of water, and 2 pounds of cocaine in his stomach when they found him dead. You don't drink cocaine, folks.
No,
He
not
was
at all.
forced to do that and murdered, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we still babyface Gino. We never talk about Dino.
Right.
Oh, Gino could have been Flair.
Yeah.
They're the same dude,
Pretty much.
killed for the same thing.
It's all perception.
It's all
And
perception.
perception becomes reality.
How about these
Yep.
communist idiots on the internet? Hogan, the worst person to ever exist.
Worst
Right.
finisher.
Iron Sheik. Oh, we love Sheiky baby.
Yeah,
He's so funny.
entertaining
He's so
and funny,
entertaining.
he's so cute.
Racial slurs.
Yeah.
LGBT slurs.
Yeah, you name it.
Threatening people. It's so weird. Wrestling
Physical
is
threats
so
on
weird.
people,
Yep.
sodomy threats,
Yep.
you name it. It was there.
Yeah, a
Horrible.
whole bunch of everything.
Yeah.
Horrible everything. But we love Sheiky baby. He's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, wrestling's dumb,
Yeah.
but we love it still.
True story.
And I think I can agree with both of you guys. I think that's exactly what it is. Net positive.
Yeah.
The cloud probably is why we won't remember him how he should be
Right.
remembered for his positive contributions to the business. Folks, we got to go take the time out here. We got to transform and roll out. Sarge is going to be getting some frozen custard next week with Culver's.
Maybe Culver's.
Maybe
yeah,
Culver's.
see.
Who else
see.
has got Ritters? Get some frozen.
My son likes Ritters because they have the shaved ice.
Oh,
He
okay.
likes that.
All right. Well, shaved ice
The
is good.
sorbet or whatever it is with the. Yeah.
I'm a frozen custard. You're a custard guy?
Frozen custard.
Frozen custard guy. All right. But Kevin and I will be back in the house next week. Black History Month continues. I want to talk about a little bit about Sherry, but what we missed last time, we talked about this and we got to do some more homework. Dark Journey. I want to talk about Dark Journey a little bit next week.
Underrated.
Underrated,
Ooh.
short career at Crockett, but she was very, very talented at what she did. We'll talk about Dark Journey. We'll talk about Sherry. We'll talk about the influence of some black females in professional wrestling. We'll see you guys next week. Kev?
Peace.
Now,
Breakfast burritos for the morning
what's funny
brainstorm.
is that
Easy Cater.
from what